Halo semuanya, kembali lagi bersama dengan Haname di sini. Welcome, welcome. Ah, ini mulutku kenapa stuck ya? Halo? Bentar, bentar. Kenapa mulutku stuck anjir, nggak bisa gerak anjir? Oh, pantes. Pantes aja. Ternyata kesalahan pada apa namanya arah kamera. BTW halo, gimana kabar kalian hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih? Sudah kembali lagi bersama dengan bebek yang suka nge-stream game. Let's go. Hari ini kita akan main eventnya ya. BTW welcome Aika, welcome Triagil. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih? Welcome. Kenapa Hanami baru melakukan eventnya sekarang? Karena Hanami kemarin dapat Honglu. Udah nge-share ya, Honglunya udah apa namanya? Honglunya udah pulang. Jadi saatnya kita ngapain? Kita nge-event. Seneng banget aku anjir, kemarin aku nge-share. Hehe. Bro, what the hell?
소재가 준비됐어?
Oke, untung aku bisa udah
이거
naikin
참
levelnya.
설레는구려.
Udah uptime semua itu. Oh, kecuali Isang aku belum uptime dah. Eventnya saya sudah tamat. Tetap storynya saya skip. Oh, makanya kenapa di skip anjir, storynya padahal bagus. Exploring a lobotomy corporation when I was exploring a lobotomy corporation bridge when my consciousness sink into that. Halo Versu, halo Mengi, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih, welcome. Convoy my compass is curiosity, anjay. The sense of cognition itself, a concept with a form, flows in the shadow of an ever-widening river, swept up in its current to nowhere. When we run into an abnormality, but the Saudi taught us that Hongyuan lobotomical branch should be free of any abnormality. The abnormality, which had appeared out of nowhere, was more otherworldly than any we encountered so far in our journey, and deep blue. It was fathomless blue, and seemed to have a pull that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall this abnormality, a myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thought crashed into my mind like wild wave before ebbing away from its shore. I was already lost and adrift somewhere within my own consciousness when I realized this. Just how long am I going to be adrift? The sensation of my own consciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I float about in that strange state for a while. An unfamiliar voice says my aimless drifting consciousness. Are you done today? Gak ada suaranya ya. Nyau, di sini hanya ada 4 sinner. Always Han. Karena terdampak terus ke episode 2 ketemu sinar lain. Aku setiap datang stream akan selalu bonfoyak makompesis curiosity, penghargaan dariku untuk musiknya, anjay. Belum ada. Oh, belum ada. Sayang sekali. Fog of my vision clear as the voice breaks through the wave. And a concerned expression comes into view. Yes, I am. Ah, what a relief! Gregor, I think Dante has come too. So who are... I was about to ask further question to this stranger with particular long animal-like ears, but... I felt the drowsiness coursing back with the terrifying murmurs of dream, rendering me unable to speak. I have to get a hold of myself. After an indeterminate amount of time had passed, I barely managed to wake myself from slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliarities. There was that stranger from earlier, sitting atop a rock and silently taking in the sight. A young girl who probably saved my life. Wait, so were those animal ears after all? BTW, berarti Hanami harus membaca semuanya. Oh, mantap. Biasa intervalo ada voice nunggu beberapa patch. Ya gimana Han, Sinner KR sementara aku nggak ada voice KR-nya. Oh iya, Aka nggak ada voice AKR-nya ya. Cuman apa dah? Aku belum pernah main sih. Okay, that's not important right now. I have to prioritize figuring out just where in the world I end up in. So where we are standing by the Liberian coastline. Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay otherwise. Iberia, huh? Yes, we are in Iberia. Well, given that we are next to an ocean, maybe I drift all the way to Eucor Great Lake? Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that was all I had to go on, given that the city was still full of more unknown than knowns to me. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. I see. Wait, my colleagues? You must run into the sinner then. The fog of my mind immediately cleared as soon as I realized that the sinner were all nowhere to be seen. Sinner? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were looking all over the place for someone with a clock for their head. It was a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clock head does come in handy. Yes. Oh, manager bot. That day. I'm woken up in unfamiliar place to unfamiliar face, and in the midst of this all-around sense of displacement, the face that appeared before me were certainly a sight of sore eyes. Gregor, Holu! Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and I came as fast as I could, and oh boy, I was worried that something bad might have happened. Glad to see you are doing fine. Were you last at the sea? I don't know. Aku cuman ada English ITL apaan ITL Japan? Kan apakah saatnya bermain Roblox? Hell nah, aku disuruh main Roblox. No way. Memangnya kamu kalau misalnya Hana main Roblox, aku harus main Roblox yang mana tuh? Well, I do think I'm fine tuh. Tapi aku nggak terlalu suka main Roblox ya. Aku mending main Subnautica anjir. Oh, Italia, ITL. Oh. Hah? Italia? Okay. So, I guess not having any way to drink water finally come in handy. You should go get that checked out just in case. Wait, your head waterproof, right? Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing, then mutters a casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem that concerned. Maybe we are not actually in that much danger. So, what happened? Where are we? Do you remember entering that lobotomy corporate Chun told us about? Yes. Yeah, we ran into a new abnormality and got sucked into it before we even had the chance to do anything. Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially with you getting stuck in there too, Manager But when we come to, despite waking up with our face down in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch. So there was quite a mess when we realized that you gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. So we are not at you carve greatly? Some of us consider that to be distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ismail was really certain that we were not in District 29. Did not need did it concede that we might be an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts. But that doesn't seem likely either, given what Rabbit Ear Lady there said. Aku suka coding binary dalam game. Jadi di gamenya ada tempat yang referensi tempatnya di Italia. Waktu ada event itu beberapa karakter dapat voice Italia. Aku belum full karakter. AK itu belum full karakter dapat voice beda bahasa. Oh, I see. Oke. Main apa ini? Main Roblox back. Roblox paling mabar sama viewer. Aku sih sekarang lebih suka main Forsaken mirip Dead by Daylight. Karena ada beberapa skin killer referensi Limbus. Forsaken, wait a second, aku mau lihat. Forsaken. Oh. Forsaken tapi apa namanya punyanya Roblox ya. Menarik. The outskirts region of the Great Lake. I have met all kind of people from all over Terra. But I have never met anyone who refer to Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? As I found myself puzzled by these unfamiliar terms, a very obvious question suddenly struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Huh? Really? You fella haven't introduced yourself to each other yet? It's just that it's all just a lot to take in. It's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. Actually, would you like to do the honor yourself? I'm Amiya, at the leader of Rhodes Island. Please just call me Amiya. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my packet. It seems that this rodeo island is pretty big. Pharma Corporation, but Gregor trailed off ominously and scratched his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far I know, there aren't any organization in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with the name like the head. So sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Gregor kind of bad with names. So what you're saying is that we are not in the city anymore? It will be weird for any higher up at this huge corporation to know less about the head than we do, let alone be completely clueless about it. Well, maybe we have stumbled into previously undiscovered zone of the Oscar or the ruin, probably. Or maybe we have really found ourselves in a completely different world. If their conjecture is correct, we are in a way bigger trouble than I thought. This wasn't like the time we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts via a door in the corridor. Aya stared at me with some concern as though she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes, recently anomalous sign and event have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared unseen. And it's been said that this dimensional door is connected to very distant to something that we have never observed before. So ada skin Ahab. Amiya kelinci, tapi fandom sering nyebut Donkey. Kenapa Donkey anjir? Karena bego kak Saya juga main Roblox Studio ngebuat game sendiri. Anjay, asik sekali tidak you? Long story short, Aka story is telling us some infection from rock named Originium. And if someone get this infection, they will be called as infected. Saya bilang Amia infected. Seem reasonable to theorize that the dimensional door is how we manage to cross over to this world. I really would appreciate false input. Where all the other cylinders go anyway? I'll be late on uptake to be calking around for other cylinder now, don't you think? Ya, sinder lainnya mana, Bang? They are at the settlement near here. Where they are all having out with various odds and ends of the village. While taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought. How about how difficult would it be to search for someone when we are live fish out of the water too? Man. Barely got off a wing of sleep since yesterday. Everyone got to be really tired then. So it's just too Aduh, bentar aku cekukan. Buset dah cekukan anjir. So it's just you two out here for now? No, Ismail and Yisang are the other half of the search party. And we just happen to be the last group in rotation. He must be searching elsewhere to find you, manager, but... Well, memang. Oh. Terus kalau infected bisa jadi gila atau biasa aja atau gimana? We got the news early thanks to Amiya Gears, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team, well, we don't have any way to get in touch with them, so they will probably continue their search until the shift is done. Oh, are we talking about that village you mentioned earlier? Right. You have not been there yet, huh? I guess it's a bit off the beaten path. Well, we are going to have to rendezvous with the other sinner anyway, so let's head to the village for now. Something seems to pique Anya's interest as she fell into a contemplating silence before carefully speaking up. I would like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see why not. You help us find Manager Bud. And more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. Haha, I don't actually know Iberia that well either. But I should be able to... but I should be able to be of some help. They've closed their border and have practically locked out any foreign influence from Eclecticdom. But I did get a briefing before the mission. Closed border, huh? Then how did you get in, Samia? You followed Dr. Kelsey's direction and illegally crossed the country border. Illegally? Oh, does that mean you crossed the border without obtaining any permission, Amia? We had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Is it normal to pharma company to be doing that? Large pharma company often dispatch their agent to permission. Yes, Rarest Island is, in essence, a pharma company researching treatment for people infected by oripathy. But we also work to prevent and assist in the management of various situations that can occur in high-risk area. High-risk area, huh? Wait. What about your companion? I hope you come all the way here on your own. That's We were forced to split up due to certain force that we are in pursuit. Wait, stop! Amiya's ears twitched as he came to a stop and began scanning the surrounding area. Then, there! As we stood about confused, Amiya, noticing something, pointed towards the seashore hidden behind the large and cracked rock formation. What are we supposed to... Huh? There, we saw someone wielding a lengthy great sword, a bickering with two familiar faces. Again, move, you are in the way. You needn't worry as you do. We have had ample experience battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried. Come on, better to have 3 fighters than 1, right? Besides, you're the first person we run into out here, so we got a lot of questions to ask. Isang, Ismael! Dante, you're unharmed. And here I was, getting ready for a 3 days long search. What a relief. We were all really worried that we might never be able to find you. We managed to find them thanks to help from Miss Amiya here. Amiya? Are you two acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait until after we take out this same monster. Tadi, are those organisms the seaborn Dr. Calls mentioned? They are sea terrors to be specific. The less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terror? I hear the sticky noise of something vicious slithering against the rock. Halo, Han, gua udah gak lanjut build, mau balik ke FPS lagi. Welcome, Arianto. Oke, semangat FPS-nya. BTW welcome, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Terima kasih sudah menonton, sudah saya, sudah suara sini, welcome. Tapi BTW, apa namanya, Haname susah anjir mau nyuarain, apa namanya, NPC di sini kayak gimana? Aku nggak bisa dapetin suara yang cocok yang ada di otakku, anjir. Suara kayak gimana yang harus aku When I turn to face the origin of unsettling noise, I smell the heavy, wet scent of brine. At the end of my gaze away, train monster unlike distortion, unlike abnormalities, unlike anything I ever seen. It is as though the sea itself is encroaching on the land. I was almost certain that we weren't at the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Her experience with the thick scent of brine of the Great Lake must have put her in a worry mood, as Ismael seems to be a lot more apprehensive about this monster than anyone else. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and the Oscar are full unexplored mystery after all. Dante, what do your sense say? It's unclear. I say the closest comparison I could make is with the whale, but even that's not conclusive. More enemies on the horizon. We should go prepare for battle. It seems like we can talk things out with them too. So let's take them out. Ya, dari Aka simpelnya yang kutulis di atas lah. Jadi story-nya panjang, sepanjang-panjangnya kayak visual novel, intinya begitu. I see. Buset, ada suara Jepangnya, anjir.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
점 찍었네.
Anjir, suaranya bahasa Jepang sendiri, anjir.
합격장.
Hehe. Gila, Honglunya OP, anjir. Carry banget, anjay.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Langsung stagger loh.
風を追っています
점 찍었네.
Sumpah suaranya cuman apa namanya Amnya doang yang bersuara di apa namanya sini.
불끈을 지원할 뻔.
効果的な攻撃でした
뱀으로 꿰뚫어라.
Ya, sorry apa simpelnya yang udah aku baca tadi anjir. Kenapa gua baca lagi?
사형.
Gua lagi senang bentar lagi Kak Piri mau ribut dah. Gak sabar soalnya udah nonton dari lama Kak.
頼みの腕前
Anjay, ribut jadi manusia kah? Jadi itu kan selama ini jadi kucing tinggi ya.
이건 예상 못했나 봐. 깔끔하게 물었군. 뱀으로 꿰뚫어라.
BTW Gregor Heiso keren ya.
저 해충들을 도려내.
Warnanya full ungu.
텐데.
Mission accomplished. All remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Pilihan siapa itu Hongkongnya? Hongkong, Hongkong tercintaku, anjay. Aku suka banget sama Hongkong sih. Hehehe. Didn't think I had to deal with anything remotely like this outside the Great Lake. You can say that again. It would have taken us a whole day if that scary character didn't occupy the other half while Miss Rabbit helped us from the stand. As we were catching our breath after the battle, I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at its source, I saw getting glaring at me with palpable alarm. Strange people who transform. And ahead of clock? I guess they are both technically true. Well, it's nothing more than a theory at this point. I think they have a lot to do with dimensional door we are supposed to be investigating. Nice to meet you, I guess. I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, that's because only us inner can hear Dante's voice. Huh? What's up? No, I'm just wondering how Miss Amiya can seemingly understand Dante. Yeah, what's going on here? Oh yeah, it's completely flew over my head that I didn't even question how weird this is. Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me, but I don't know, it's almost like I can sense what they are trying to say. What kind of emotion they are trying to convey. Her explanation reminded me of the blue boy in Sinclair Pass, but I didn't quite feel the uncanny sensation from Amiya that I felt from them. So she can read me, kinda like how Hercules can, I guess. Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. That's true. It's been a bit hassle to always need pause or Honglu translate for you, Tante. I'd like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we have got the luxury of time to sit down and figure this out. So are we heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. She said she helped us to find our way back. I'm glad to be working with you too also, Miss Ismail, Mr. Yisan. Took the word right out my mouth. You have already helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. The journey is long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise. How long the journey? No idea. No, it's not like we have the clock with us. I do know that it's not very far though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. Very quietly point in my direction. Oh, then they can tell us the time because they are not on time. Then why the clock head? I didn't exactly just look at myself a clock-shaped head. I look away from Sketty inquisitive eye, which were quite solidified fixed on my head. The coasts of Iberia are hardly good place for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in this world, but they are thrive at places that meet on the ocean. So how do people manage to build a village at a place like this? The monsters are called seaborns or sea terror, yes. But it is true that they pose certain difficulties. They were hardly the kind of monster with strength to bring scores and drive out a local population. Don't judge them based on the brave skirmish. He's just telling us to be on guard, right? Daddy can be a guard. Daddy can be a bit guard, but she is not a bird person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rule out of the Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variant of this creature being out there. Very concern is served to find my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated that I probably shouldn't pry, so I quietly quickened on my pace as we walked to the village. Dua-duanya juga dari awal minta jadi pemberi salah 3 apple battle, emang tim gila. BTW, Dante sama udah putus sama-sama amnesia.
이걸로 이번 죽음과 결별을
sama-sama
맺지 않았나?
amnesia.
마지막까지 알뜰히 사용할
Halo Naru,
생각을
welcome. Gimana kabar hari ini? Terima kasih sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah urus-urus ini, welcome. Oh ya, Skadi di Arknek itu karakter salah satu paling kuat di dunia karena dia punya darah Ratu Sipur namanya Isarma. Santai nggak ada di main story, tapi karena dia kuat dianggap dongo. Dianggap dongo, tapi aslinya dongo nggak? This hardly look like a village. It's more like the ruin of one, isn't it? It doesn't seem like they have done any proper upkeep to the place. Not in a while, at least. They're really here, living together. The strange building tell the story of former prosperity from the bygone era. Our step left no footprint on the wet, moody ground. On it, I see a rotting sign marked with the name Faro Muerto. Everywhere I look in this village, I see evidence of long, silent abandonment. You don't see this kind of abandoned-looking ruins often in the city either. Well, yeah, there was someone or something out there waiting to capitalize on that free real estate, be it a syndicate or a corporation, and fix it up. Better than this, at least. So, where are the sinners? Ah, there's a clearing down there where we were entrapped between a tide of great ship, narrowing winds against our sail. Oh, and it's when young Ismail, boom, her comment most resonant. Itu pasti Don. Say no more. I didn't even have to try to search for them. That unmistakable, sonorous, and familiar voice echoing triumphantly between the empty building. Yes, don't question the voice when she's sharing her adventurous tale. There she was, standing atop a low podium like an actor on stage, regaling a group of people in rags with tales of our adventure like traveling thespian. Ngakak benjir. Yahoo, tinggal tunggu waktu penyerahan kursi OSIS, let's go. Aslinya Afres Sota manusia tapi bawah dikit. Bawah dikitnya tuh sebawah apa anjir? Dikitnya, ngerti lahan orang yang gak sekuat dia kan main strategi segala macam, sementara dia asal bacok. Ya juga sih, orang kalau misalnya terlalu kuat asal bacok sih. Don kenapa lah dia sekarang? BTW aku jelasin beberapa karakter yang ada di ID collabnya secara singkat ya. Boleh. I'm sorry, dog Osman. And this moment I Ismail, the first mate of Faisal. Limbus shall not be. Oh. Stop. Hold on. Just what do you think you are doing? Young Ismail, I in my mouth. Just about to regale them with the most fantastic tale of adventure at the Great Esquire. Apparently, tow has returned with manager escort safely in tow. What? They found Clockhead? A burning clock for a head? When I was child, I heard a story about a legendary circus with a flaming head. Why would someone like that visit our humble village? While the extras might carry element that inspire fear in some, there is no cause or alarm. Yeah, they might look like that, but they're Dante, our manager, and the rest are... Oh, hello! I'm sorry, who are you two? They're the two nice people who help us find Dante. This is Miss Amea, leader of Rhodes Island. And this is Miss Cuddy, their operator. They'll be coming along with us for a little while. Eh? With us? We believe that the dimension door which we at Rhodes Island are investigating has something to do with why you suddenly woke up in Iberia. As Amea was bringing the sinners up to speed, the villager who were staring at us curiously approached us. Did our conversation manage to convince them that we are not a threat? I sure hope so. You are friends with our Savior. Saviors? Apparently, it is quite a grand title. Yet that is indeed the word by which we address. To be more precise, by Savior, they are referring only to Faust and Otis. Faust gave me like nod when we made eye contact. I could tell that her lips were drawing a very, very subtle smiling arc. So I'm guessing something did happen. They were quite mistrustful upon our initial arrival. What business do outsiders have here? What if they are from Inquisition? Oh no, what do we do after all we went through to get here? Calm yourself, everyone. None of them carrying what happened to be Terra Scripture or lamps. Let's first try to see who they are. Man, I don't think they're gonna trust us anytime soon. They are all old commuters, less STNC than PTSD. You can do that, Ryosu. We can pilot their storage depot. This looks like they already have it hard enough as it is. I don't think STNC is a good way to get stars either. Should we just find it? Gimana bacanya? Should we just find Bleh! Should we just find help elsewhere? Just look at how thin their arms are. I don't think they are in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire to our whereabouts are. We are to decide our logic. While the landscape is certainly reminiscent of Corp, but I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looked like this. So I can say I have been to every corner of Corp. I ask again, what business do outsiders have here? Their finger are tightening around their grips of their weapon. Prolonged silence will most likely turn this into a hostile encounter. We can have that. Hi, we are from Limbus Company. We are Fixer of Justice! Yeah, that Fixer of... Oh, don't you know when to keep it down? Fixer? That over there is ship blueprint, isn't it? Are you looking to repair a vessel by any chance? All this construction material seem to suggest so. Chief, this does this does not concern you. It's not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious. I've never seen any energy source like this before. Have you run the test to rule out any stability issue? It seems to power the head exchanger via some method comparable to utilize the fusion energy. Have you any thought on this, Miss Faust? The general design structure is somewhat old-fashioned, but there certainly are inspired parts to the design. particularly with the usage of the core energy source. While its stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. Halo Dudung, welcome. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih, welcome. Jadi dia ada makhluk raksasa namanya Pheromone dan salah satunya naga besar namanya Sui. Dan Sui ini saking kuatnya cara kalahnya dipecah jadi 12 bagian. Salah satunya Link. Buset langsung tes story collab. Gini habis apa? Gini habis dapet Hongkong Peach. Hongkong pijet. Satu pecahan aja udah dianggap senjata kuat negara. Ling ini tuh asli sastra dan sifatnya pemabuk. Dia punya adik dan kakak yang totalnya 12 lah. Dan tanggal lahir tiap pecahan Sui itu jelas. 112233. Ya pokoknya yang lahir Januari 22 Februari sampai Desember. Oh. Oke. Gua bakal nikmati pas udah bebas dari OSIS. Gua mau ganti nama dah. Kadang-kadang agak sulit diketahui dah. Nah, akhirnya namanya diganti lagi jadi Arianto. Mantap. Langsung lah test drive. Kenapa enggak? Kan ada Honglo. You identified all that merely by glancing at this blueprint? You must be the village chief then. If so, I have proposition for you. In return for assisting in their ship repair, you were promised to ride on their vessel. His boss has theorized that perhaps by going out to sea, we may able to find a way to return whence we came. Does it mean we can find a way back somewhere out there in the sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. Halo Adi, welcome. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih, welcome. Kenapa dah kadang-kadang di live Kapiril gua malah disuruh ganti nama. Ganti nama kenapa tuh? Milner jadi dia tuh kakak tertua dari keluarga Marganier dari negara bernama Casimirs. Dan nah di negara ini kental banget unsur kesatrianya. Dan di negara itu ada festival kesatria. Di ending festival kesatria itu nanti diadu kesatria hebat. Nah Milner itu salah satu yang pernah memenangkan event itu. Oh, ganti nama jadi Arianto lagi. Ayo ganyang priestess, ayo. At this moment, you are working based on hunch. A hunch? Sensing the implicit moment on her choice of words, I slowly turn around to look at Faust, who nodded solemnly in purpose. If we are all really in different worlds, even here, guess herself has to be no issue were encountered in the repair process. Paul smiled faintly as he looked around, then she pulled me in by my hand. She whispered in low voice, "My connection to Castle staff is currently operating at a suboptimal level, Dante. So it's still connected, at least." Indeed, it is. However, even exchange of simple information are taking up to dozens of hours by current calculation. Is this a warp train situation? Because we are in different dimensions? The cost should be identical. We have been connected to an unidentified, unpredictable dimension. However, Post is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is yet to close this time, unlike the situation back aboard the warp train. So, to get back to where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. And from that, you came up with the whole plan to repair the ship and sail out to the sea? Yes. Well, I'm also a genius after all. I may conjecture that we have probably come through a dimensional door of sort. Looks like that dimensional door might be what was looking for. With high likelihood, yes. At least there is way back. I find myself calming down a little. Oh, speaking of which, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As Fortune should have it, a majority of the most time-consuming part of the repair already been complete by the locals. It shouldn't take us more than a day or two to get its core parts ship again. Executive manager. We'll be staying here for a few more days then. How did you manage last night? Well, like I said earlier, we have been keeping ourselves busy looking for you this whole time. We took turns helping with the repairs and resting, but I doubt if any of us get a proper night rest. Still, we weren't cold thanks to the villager who kept the fire going for us all night. Not to mention how they helped us a ton with that local map they drew us. Oh, also, Chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? Look like a sack of tukwal like water. Give it here. I know how to get that installed. It must be to repay Miss Faust and Miss Otis' effort at preparing their ship yet. The service they provide us is certainly quite generous, even when taking the transactional nature into account. They are really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Rhodia kept in her pockets. Didn't want to eat into their food supply when they are already pretty tight, you know. Kalau di gamenya Millionaire itu nggak akan nyerang, cuman waktu aktif skill doang nyerangnya. Kalau nggak nyerang baca koran, mekaniknya dipakai di Limbus, semakin lama didiemin makin sakit damage-nya. Oh, gue sering banget agak kesel soalnya udah susah-susah mikirin nama yang bagus, giliran nemu malah disuruh balik ke Arianto. Namanya soalnya yang diinget Arianto sih, Arianto. Tadi simpelnya awalnya dia tuh ciptakan sebagai senjata untuk melawan Seaborn, musuh-musuh event ini. Karena sifat Seaborn ini kayak zombie, ngeinfeksi. Nah, ratunya Ismla Finman juga. Nah, grup Skadi itu namanya Abisa Hunter. Ketika lagi lawan Seaborn, akhirnya ketemu Ismar. Namanya susah banget ya. Tapi Skadi keinfeksi darah Ismar yang buat dia jadi wadah kebangkitan Iskarm lah. Ya gitulah namanya, anjir. Namanya susah banget, Jer. There is enough cookie and bread for 12 people? They did offer us some nose. Aduh, pencet. Those tried feasting, but we refused. I ain't about taking food from the needy. No need to concern yourself so much with our hospitality. You have done more than enough to earn your keep. I turned around to look at the source of that low, rumbling voice, and saw an old man in an outfit that seemed to distinguish itself among the other villagers. There you are, Chief. Is there a place for us to stay the night? We do have a place to shelter from the misty humidity, at the very least. There is an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for tonight. Oh, are you sure? I mean, I don't mind. Oh, are you sure? I mean, I don't mind sleeping in the street myself. Hey, speak of yourself. I've been looking forward to sleeping with roof over my head since like yesterday. You will cause clothes sleeping in the element in this environment, which is fine by me for the rest of you, but we cannot afford to have executive manager of our honored guest suffer that fate. Honored guest? I heard what happened from the four who left in search for the executive manager. First, I would like to begin by imparting my infinite gratitude to you for finding and rescuing the executive manager. I heard that you are the leader at a pharmacy company. This acquaintance shall certainly comes in handy in case our stay becomes significant prolonged. Hahaha. I am just surprised by her boldness to say something so materialistic when they are standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, chief? The village chief took a brief glance at the harm by her request. Cannot. Welcome to Faro Muerto. You are welcome to stay for as long as you want. And please, do let me know if you find yourself without food. Our food supply may be tight indeed, but we have enough to share with those who help prepare the vessel. Oh, you better not go back on your word later, hehe. I wonder what kind of local delicacy awaits. Dried fish, like they were eating earlier, maybe? Hey, Chief. What is it? Just how are you surviving out here by the sea? Perhaps the question of how we are surviving may be somewhat misdirect. For we are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. The chief responded to scary perceived hostility with a hearty smile. After leaving some firewood for the night, he left. I'm going. Can learn much more from here. Huh? You go somewhere at this hour? Kadi, does this have something to do with the ghost? I remember what you said before we got to the village. Something about how ghosts are hardly good place to live in. And he wants to know if this has something to do with the ghost. Do you understand the Eiger language? Eiger language? No. Antes, Kadi spoke in Eigerian. I couldn't understand a word of Skadid and chief conversation because I don't speak Eigerian. It may be only be that there be not as. It may be only be that there were enough lexical similarity between one of the city language and the language Skadid spoke in for them to comprehend the meaning. Word coincidence. Anyway, I have something to look into. Something you are all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember, you are not on a solo mission, Skadi. This is team offered from Rhodes Island. Will do. Skadi not likely before leaving off into the night, out of our sight. I'm kinda worried. He's not the best with people, but he is also pretty thoughtful. He'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Oh, yeah. We can probably just pick an unlit building and stay there the night there, right? Trying our best to ignore the mood that was starting to turn awkward, we made our way into a nearby unoccupied building. Nah, katanya lebih cocok, lebih bagus, tapi gua agak risih aja. Soalnya udah mikir lama buat nama, tapi katanya dah lah balik ke Karyanto aja lebih mantep. Bacanya Isar Mila aja. Nah, jadi kalau dia sampai hilang kendali nanti Isar Mila bangkit lagi. Jadi berbahaya, tapi karena dia keinfeksi Isar Mila, ini kekuatan fisik dia naik drastis hingga jadi super kuat. Kalsit Haname game Arknight karena salah satu game yang banyak ikut serta di story. Ya nanti kalau misalnya Haname udah selesaiin Limbus Company sama Reapers, nanti Haname nambah lagi jadi Arknight. Ada gila-gilanya. Jadi sudahlah, aku terima aja. Aku nak sholat sembari buang rasa kesal. Oke, monggo Arianto. Aku capek muat baca mulu, jir, kata-katanya banyak banget. Biasanya dia ngomong. Ntar. We walked past a few narrow building and remnant of narrow building before we came across a hall large enough to house all 15 or so of us. Okay, now we are ready. With the curtain on the window removed, the smoke has an exit. Oh, I thought we were doomed to shatter ourselves to sleep with the soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that we were. We just have to get a small fire going underneath until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside being all this smoke, it's clear that she has some field experience, unlike some fools I know. I just sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Requite upon me, Tansai and Guardian, young Rodian, for I shall conjure thee a pot of special fixer soup. You are making soup with cookies and jelly? No! No! No, you are not going anywhere near the kitchen again. Not after you cooked up last time. Well, I must admit to a certain level of interest. As many of our fellow Visaria are off, wrecked with intense agony upon ingesting this of your making. Perhaps it may be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Don't you remember? We agreed to leave cooking to Mel or Oti if we are ever in a situation like this, remember? Did we? See, I think it's become a sort of unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember, back during our last year cooking contest at K Corp, they were the only two people who managed to get remotely positive review. Oh, does that mean we will get to try all this cooking once again? Night. We still have plenty of high-calorie food like cookie and jelly here. I find no reason to do something so inefficient. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic given the circumstance. It can be easy to suddenly wake up in unfamiliar environment. BTW Arknight tanggal 14 anniversary. Bansos gak mau. 14 ini. 14 ini banget nih. Nay, gameku terlalu banyak, Nay. Buwa udah update anjir. Nay, aku juga masih main Subnautica anjir. Well, we are all quite used to getting thrown into an unfamiliar place. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your college, Amia? She shook her head, concerned. They might lose their comm device, or maybe they run into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they are okay. The Dr. Kelsey, they're both more than capable enough to look after themselves. Long have this curiosity lingered within me. Thus, allow me to inquire. Corporations are, by their nature, organizations in pursuit of profit. Yet, the activities of your corporation resemble those of charity organization, as opposed to a pharma company. Is there all that might obfuscate this blurred distinction? Aha, want to know too. How come a pharma company like Rhodes Island helping people? Something about what Hongu said brings back unpleasant memories. The horrible experiment seen through the cascade of glowing tears in the face of suffering. The embodiment of greed that left a terrible wound in Honglu fathoms. The pharma company I've seen in my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, choose to obsess over the profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you. It spread deeper and deeper into infected internal organs, eventually culminating into their death. It's called oribati. Amiya showed me the back of the right hand, dotted by what appeared to be obsidian crystallization. Its appearance reminded me of the bio-treatment on the Break Street, but there was something more to it, something more restless, more sinister. It It's a terrible, painful disease, but there haven't been any recorded case of full recovery. But there's an even worse problem. Right, tell, what could be possibly worse than an incurable deadly disease? While it varies region by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across the Terra. Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. Some begin with the dark expression. Some are quarantined in place with terrible inhuman conditions. And there have been a massacre too. I don't mean to be callous, but this oripathy highly contagious? No, there have not been any recorded case of infectious by contact as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystals grow in their body, decay, and turn to dust, scattering, which is what spread the plague. The very environment like active find where casualties are to be expected. Staying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? There already was the point of caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out of the window. Then rather silent goal has to be, yes, it is important to develop cure of oripathy, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstance for the better for the infected. That's not going to be an easy endeavor, though. That is what gives you effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Amia. I really do. For truth. The city. The city. This world. We both live in world of surprise, don't we? What kind of world did you come from? This city? What kind of place is this city anyway? The kind of place with too many pointless rules. The kind of place where the moment you think, isn't this too much? You've seen something even worse. Try as I might, I couldn't think of a single positive thing about the city. The senior seems to be in agreement, as most of what came after what quite scattered. The kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go the kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go unpunished, where sympathy good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out there. It's shithole. It's an irrational place full of absurdities. Absurdities is an omnipresent. Therefore, it is not a subject by which one should be aggrieved. We can at least gross about them, so I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It will be more correct to experience more and acclimate oneself to it instead of complaining. You did see something like that last time. Besides, the mood was starting to turn rather sour. Don't consider shouts settled through the awkwardness. Barely nearly a day cold by untarnished by villain and their will deeds. Yet worried enough for fairy where evil rides. So don't fix her justice. So don't go sit down from her seat and passionately shook her feet, which has followed by a heavy crack in the sound of small pebbles tumbling down. Don't go sit there. Watch out! Whoa! And from behind the wall, she accidentally broke down. An unfamiliar physique of villager appeared and started at Don Quixote. It appeared that she was eating something out of can while reading a book. Where is to? Where is thy foot? Yakata apologies first. Last seems to tend to hyper today. Apologies for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Are you unhurt and injured? the apology. I just wanna know what happened next. The fixer of justice rose up to what? Oh, oh, hey, let's not come to me to hear the tale of fixer. I don't know about coming to us, given how Miss Inquisitor was the one who punched the wall down. Oh, is it too late an hour? I'm waiting till morning if you wanna sleep. Nay, not at all. Just quite early on for tales, in fact. Right, sit myself here. You ungrateful fool, calm down. We don't even know who she is. And don't you forget to share those fixer tale over there in the corner to not disturb our sleep. Oh, mega request most untenable. This does deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kind of story. But we should probably introduce ourselves to each other first. Yes, Mayor. How should I put this? Ah, did you meet the village chief earlier during the day? Yes, my cramps. Oh, that's nice, guys. So he had a granddaughter. Yeah, I have not seen you once, Miss May. Under the sun. Oh my, you are right. I thought the village was completely right of any young blood. Like Rodia said, well, we didn't see Meyer out there. There wasn't anyone else in the village we could comfortably call young. Reverse gas lanjut ini. Ya, oke. Ya, tanggal 14-an nih, Vanson banyak bahkan dikasih monthly gratis. Oh ya, nama infeksinya Oripati, kelupaan. Ya, itu tadi ada. Aduh, apakah aku harus main? Tapi reverse aku belum selesai, ini juga belum selesai. Subnautica juga belum selesai, Hela. You're telling me? Rams was worrying over nothing and told me to stay put inside. Going on and on about the danger that the outsider posed and everything. It seems they do not give full faith of the Savior. There are things that you cannot share even with whom you trust with your life, though. I would like to know why. My, so there are a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors in this village. No, there isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, I guess I can't understand why he will be overprotective. Anyway, it's our turn. I'm good. I heard enough to get an idea. You did? Oh, Ray, how did you hear us? Via a listening device most secret upon our chamber? I heard that aside of the part of it was still standing anyway and smelled ironically. That's soundproofing. I could hear pretty much everything Don Quisitor, right? Everything Don Quisitor practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. I think you could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess it's good enough for a self-introduction, so... Care to regale me with the tale of Fixer who bring justice to evil of the city? Indubitably then, this shall do. I shall regale thee with the tale with the legendary Fixer, the magnificent herself, the Red Miss Hut. I suppose that killed any hope for any good night's sleep. But don't you usually pass out within a minute of your bag, hitting the hay no matter how noisy things are? What? Do you take me for some kind of hibernation bear or something? Look, even I have trouble sleeping when there are noise all over. Langsung turun anjir. Halo Aikel, halo Vikia. Gimana kabar hari ini? Sudah pasangan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras ini. Welcome. Udah dapet egonya belum, Udah dapet 240 exchange di Honglu. Yang satu Ismail kena event. Yang Kalsit sama itu belum ada dapat sama sekali. I say buried in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. While out at grumbling and mourning, he dozed off before any of us did. Aside from Heathcliff, who began snoring the moment his head touched the ground, some other sinner was fast asleep as well. Marcel have entered sleep in his usual steadfast adherence to the routine, while Falls laid claim to one of the few available cloth seats as soon as the close of business for the day was confirmed. The sinner, who had spent the entire last night searching for me in this unfamiliar land, slowly began to fall asleep as well. Meanwhile, the visitor of the Sway Association First Station, though the night was no longer young, the Inquisitor was still vigorously sharing the tales of adventure without even a single sign of fatigue. She's not determined to do this until sunrise, is she? Oh, I guess it's okay, since Mayor seems to be having fun. As I continue to watch the pair with somewhat concern, Amiya, don't you sleep, approached me. His city Miss Dunquist has picked up seems to be lit teemingly with fixtures of justice and exhilarating tales of adventure. Did you actually experience all of them yourself? No, of course not. Dunquist's stories are usually those of other famous people. But she's telling it with such vigor that it almost sounds like she was there herself. Well, I guess if you really want to get into it, some of them might be retelling of Dunquist's personal experience. Ismail replied uncertainly, thinking back to the place we were made to play to was in Lama Jalan. Lama Jalan? Mimpiin Haname itu mah Vigia. Jadi keingatan di akun kedua aku udah dapet semua aku di 120. Aku lagi lah sebelum habis nggak ada, udah nggak ada itunya, nggak ada apa namanya donasi. Ingat banner WPP bisa di share, ego kolak punah menyesal, betul. Nah betul. Aduh kalsit enaknya, aduh miliar enaknya. Di sini si Ami kecil banget, wak. Ya anjir Ami kecil. Apa namanya mini banget. I think all the story, even though they are partially true, this goes to show what a ridiculous place it can be. We won't need fixer of justice to begin with. If we really live in just a world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful without someone having to force it. That's true. I hope there will be some a day when the Rhodes Island can be a normal pharma company in the future. Something wrong? No, I just saw Miss Myers and I made eye contact. Did she overhear our conversation? I looked to her direction as well, but all I saw was Myers exactly reacting to Don Quist's tale. Whoa, what happened then? So, speculary Otis smoothly before the soldier to stout in our path. Who presumed to stand in our path? Servant of Master most unworthy? I only shall educate you on how many marked. That question was now retelling the story of Limbus Company adventure in Hongyuan, and Otis, who could no longer stand, don't consider unintentional alteration of story, jumped for her feet and shouted, "Damn it! What kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that." Clearly, certain aspect of this retelling may have been exaggerated. Aha! That's the tale of adventure for you. Things are bound to get a bit dry when the story is told to rustically and as is, right? You know nothing. Not even anything resembling a proper record of a book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. I always had a craving of this kind of story. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberian from immigrating, contrary to their tight immigration control. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? I still challenge. It's still a challenge to cross the border, especially since we are going to have pass through larger cities that are managed by the Inquisition. You don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that? That's because this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under Inquisition rule and fled. Sorry, but what an organization in this Inquisition? Sinclair asked, face turning cold upon hearing the word Inquisition, and that people fled from it. Yeah, the knuckle and hammer we saw back at Call aren't the kind of memory that aren't so easily forgotten. According to the Dr. Cassid, the Inquisition is what filled the powerful home once Iberia fell into chaos. That is, that its inquisitor are the rapier and lamb-wielding protector of Iberia, city from lawlessness. That a lot kinda makes them sound like good people though. Yeah, they are, but there's a curse, the curse of the deep. The Inquisition will go to whatever lengths to deal with the incident related to the church that worships Tibor. An organization that worships those monsters? Isn't that good? Cultist fanatism is a plague whenever we go. I feel like people with all kind of wrong faith and belief are so common. See, the Seaborn are the one that messed Iberia up. So following their logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seems even remotely connected to them. Are you saying that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborn? Those things from earlier? I guess you're kinda troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem that strong. Anyway, it's just what I heard from camps. But the Inquisition executed many innocent people too in their crusade against the Church of Deep. For two who proclaims to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond committing such a fine lady. It seemed like a reasonable policy decision to me. But it must pose a clear danger to daily life of civilians. Yeah, I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died. You must have endured such a long period of pain to be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, their hero would be brought the land back to its glory days. But to Graham, they were just oppressor making his life difficult. That's why we have all come here, fleeing from the Inquisition gate. Yet, wherefore has thou decided to settle at a place that is so, Randa? Indeed. Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new pet thanks to you guys. New pet? Well, it's getting late. Will you be repairing the ship tomorrow too? This plane really has no soundproofing at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Hope we will get another chance to do this tomorrow too. Lebih kecil dari Gregor sama Don soalnya. Oh, spoiler boleh nggak? Boleh sih. Bisa aja bu spoilernya. Mereka belum ke mercusuar ya belum. Kan aku dapat ID saya yang pelukis sama kayakmu. Itu bagus nggak selama mau pakai? Lumayan sih, cuman apa namanya? Skillnya dia itu ngegacha banget, bisa sinking, bisa bleed, banyak banget itu. Halo my cat, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus ini welcome. Belum lawan the last night, ini baru mulai kawan. Belum sampai last casing. Habis ini bukan casing deng. Namanya aneh-aneh anjir, susah banget anjir. Baiklah, disuruh gacha lagi. Semoga bisa. Bisa, aku udah punya home loop nih. Ya. Maaf. After singing Mayor to her own room, the other sinners, those who are still up anyway, and I laid ourselves on the hard stone floor with only a thin layer of cloth between it and our bed. A mysterious world that is neither the city nor the outskirts. But it seemed that the life is people that were just as difficult as they were anywhere else. Pada pool Faust si Faust enggak. Aku enggak pool siapa-siapa anjir. Pool aku tabung buat
주군께서 모이를 뿌리셨으니
의뢰로군.
출발합니다. 불청객을 맞이할
해방된 세상을 위해서라면
상 알탄이예.
이거 참 설레는구려.
ngapain ada mau Faust. It's so big. Amazing. I didn't know there were remaining vessels on this class in Iberia. Haha, I heard name here. This guy by the name Rebellion the Last Message. Rebellion the Last Message. Revolt of the Mass. Thus is it. A name very much mired in peculiarity indeed. I looked him in that he was rather fond of it, with its size being about the same as the boat from his home. While Ismail quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mappy or Indigo Elder's gift. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mappy's size at most. Are you sure you can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repair had already been complete by the villager. The extent of our repair effort only concerned a few components within the vessel that the villager called a repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunction, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis' confident declaration, I could not help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why. Some tell me that we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not see it or sinking ship again. The experience of the Great Lake was enough. Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of the vessel, buoyancy gear, propeller, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with the Mephistopheles. You seem confident enough. It should be safe this time, right? Are we taking that rope climb up to the ship? No, there's lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us to the ship. The stability was verified yesterday. Let us board leave. You are 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Oi, are you two just going to puff around down there? We are heading up now. No, we are going with you. As I made my way into the vessel bridge, I was greeted by an extravaganza interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. This isn't real good, is it? Sure, it's shiny as heck in here. I got butterfly in my stomach. Yes. Aesthetically satisfying, she said. But too ostentatious, not quite my style. Our young maybe is also quite the excellent vessel, yet I imagine the adventure we could embark on aboard this vessel must lavishly decorate. As Faust and Otis were working on one of the control panel, Ismail walked up to another and interface with it before giving knowing no. This must be an investigative or research vessel of sort, but it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time is here. The coordinates seems to have been set somewhere out in the middle of ocean. Maybe it points to a small island? Nope, no island here. What? Blimey, Lex! You know how to sneak up on people. Marius? Kowe random 10 pel dapet cik. Pas sak coba susah makainya nyet. Oh ya kah? Kalian bener-bener ngandalin hoki yang ID level. Bro sama devnya dikasih max uptime max impact. Welcome Armento. Tinggal win rate. Betul, tinggal win rate. Valid, hopeless tinggal ego. Valid. Hahaha, what? Did I actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys are gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I don't know you'll be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath those coordinates, collectively known as A here. Graham's home. I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may? It is now understood why the promise to repair the ship was sufficient to earn their trust and the title of survivor. What's this on about? Somewhat get translated. Consolidating and cross-referencing the after particular circumstances of the village and the testament of the village chief, alongside information garnered from the issue with the mayor, it is possible to gauge the significance the ship's repair has to the people populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connection that pose a certain challenge for hackers to comprehend, to employ any degree of effort to attempt explain it more discussable language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. Lower the button, I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering when Miss Smart ass would start gapping like that again. So what's he on about? Atlas' shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it vaguely in the shoulder at his side. A brief observation of the village seems to suggest that their sustained situation was quite dire. Most of their daily sustenance consists of dried food, most of them made for a long-term storage purpose. Considering what Scotty said about how the coastal area full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't around here either. Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Paro Muerto? The villagers were armed, yeah, and those sitar were executed formidable, but given the state of the village are in, I doubt they'll be an easy time repelling those monsters. Halo, welcome Arif. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus ini welcome. Hopeless di MDA tidak semudah hopeless di Canto. Di MDA ada eco gift. Iya, ada eco gift. Indeed. And what brings us to the question of the sustain. Right, I get what's going on here. The last on her granddad are about to visit their hometown, and they're trying to get some food supply from there to feed the villager, and to convince them they're planning to use the fact they're from the same neck of the wood, or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we are repairing their food supply plant too. Huh? What's wrong? It's well, the expression were rather crude. Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point and easily understood. The senior stared at him with a much surprise, and I did too. What? What with them unnamed looks? Wait, oh, you sobbed? You don't think I am that dimwit, do you? Top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you have shown the side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition always been excellent, and he often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here! Kenapa tuh Arianto? Now it was full out of conversation. Was he correct? Otis looked away from the usual chaos and smiled. Honestly, I'm surprised he was on point. Yeah, food had been running low in the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But Anchor will. I'm sure they will welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they will welcome the others too? Unlike Meyer or Shift, they are not Anchor. I believe they will. Iberia suspected and hate the Anchor for no other reason than they are from the sea, but our home cannot be balanced so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Pretty, Maito, explain to us who the Anchor are? Gua ada firasat burung tentang Heathcliff. Heathcliff ngapain? Heathcliff mah memang apa namanya sukanya mukul anjir. Aduh. I had initially thought it would be reference to a region, yet it seemed to refer to affiliation of sort. Maybe there are something like the nest dweller? Oh, I don't think I have heard of nests that accept Blackstreet people with open arms. Or maybe there used to be some ritual. If they call them nest of Akir here, then does that make the rabbit eared last Akir too? Wait, in the world you came from, do they not distinguish between race? Not entirely true. Delineation between race is concept that does. So I only saw them in phantoms. They were those terrifying things called Ukospawn. However, as a general rule, it can be said that humans should be the only interesting life form in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearance depending on their race, like my cautus ears. And I have the pointed ears because I Aegir. So it's not characteristic every Aegir shares. The closest idea to what they are discussing apparent to me, Inquisitor seems to be struggling to finish her first sentence. Tershall stopped in to continue. By context, clue and manner of word usage, including a meaning of classification, the closest example in our world will be fruit feet, similar external appearance to human, different nature, comparable selfie. Piece of my belief that fruit feet are ostriches to their nature of that make coexistence with human difficult. It may be that too. It may be that the Akir also too. Halo Lanjut, welcome. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus ini welcome. Kan karena sifat tak akibat yang mungkin dilakukan tadi. Oh, akibatnya adalah kita menyerang musuh kuat anjir. Bisanya dia nyolong punyanya orang. I see some of them do possess quality that make coexistence with other difficult, but they are probably rare. Then, wherefore are they my subject of suspicion and hatred? That's well, the language is new, but the idea itself is pretty familiar to the city folks like us. King of feathers of fallen wings get born in the back street. People who replace their body part with protesting. The form differ, yet in its essence we live in dread. Something about we keep finding this similarity in the way of life. Despite finding ourselves in a distant world with a different rule, race, and human. But only discomforting. The point is you guys are doing us a real solid by fishing up the sea. Ship, let's move on from this gloomy conversation, okay? I wanna show you the cooler part of this ship. This way. The ship door may have to wait. The repairs are almost complete, but an issue has arisen. Issue? Wow, that's not reassuring at all. Multiple five formed in the defeat ahead, assumed to be a sea terror horde. The ship radar seems to suggest that the vessel is round. They are at the same monster from yesterday. Executive manager pre-ordered us to prepare for battle. Damn it, are they the sea terror you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There are a lot of them, but if our experience tell us anything, we should be able to handle this. Amiya, please support us in the battle like you did yesterday. Can fight your mayor? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Then guys, find a place to take mayor as far as possible from battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want to them damaging the ship any further.
정화.
혈염도 바로
Aku kok ngantuk ya. Nak tidur aku.
더 모아쳐라.
깨어라. 알겠어.
알겠어.
다시 결투는 끝나지 않았다. 좋은 결투였다.
친히 목을 떨궈주마. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘
Aku
생각해보라고.
ngantuk. Aku
목을
ngantuk.
떨고 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나
Kebanyakan baca anjir.
불끈에 지원했군.
Apakah ini gara-gara bacanya terlalu banyak atau emang
이 정도 탕류의
ceritanya bikin
허덕이나
ngantuk jir?
해충들을 도려내라.
Itu karena nggak ada suaranya. Atau semuanya deh.
길을 열어라.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
딱
시비수에게 명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자 누구한테 살려보지 마라.
허술하게 지도는 좋았어요.
Tak, belum 2 jam jir. Ngantuk aja anjir.
부름을 틔울 수도 없겠다.
Nay, mungkin karena nggak ada suaranya sih, makanya Haname ngantuk banget jir. Help me. Jir. Semoga nggak ketiduran. Aku. Semoga nggak ketiduran beneran jir.
닭은 달려들어라.
Udah apa namanya, udah
춤들을
mau merem aja di mata anjir.
유야, 넌 부름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 넌 부름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
다시 좋은 결투.
깔끔하게 물었군. 이건 예상 못했나봐. 깔끔하게 물었군.
Yeay, jangan tidur dulu. Aku nak tidur kok. Nak tidur.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길일
Ya,
뿐이지만
setengah belum sampai nih.
임무 시작.
Aku tidur ah. Aku nak tidur.
날개를 펼치고
Aku
시비수에게 명한다.
발톱을 걸어.
이 앞에 숨쉬는 자
무상한
누구 하나
목숨
살려보내지 마라.
불끄듯 지워낼 뿐.
승부처다. 다시 결투는 끝나지 않아.
이건 예상 못했나봐.
정화.
Ya, kalau mau tidur minum mah beres stream, siapin makanan buat bangun tidur ntar. Bangun tidur lagi. Bangun tidur lagi. Bangun, aku turu meneh. Aduh, enaknya punya Honglu, Lord Hongyuan, hehehe. Aku nge-share kemarin.
틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Enak banget anjir nge-share-nya.
합격장.
Tiger. Punya Honglu tuh gak apa-apa jadi gampang jir. Biasanya kan kalau misalnya XP itu kan agak lama kan ya, soalnya ada 2 wave. Cepet anjir kalau kena yang Honglu habis.
목을 떨고
Apalagi kalau misalnya
이 정도 탕류의
aktif
허덕이나.
semua tuh. Bangun tidur stream lagi, bangun tidur stream lagi. Stream bangun tidur bangun tidur.
점 찍었네. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 완성되었나? 닭은 달. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 저 해충들을 도려내라. 유야, 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Punyanya malah dia dan aku ya mau. Jadinya apa stres?
불끄듯 지워낼 뿐.
Jadinya senang.
이건 예상 못했나. 깔끔하게
Stres
물었군.
sih. Apalagi kalau enggak jadi
정화.
Rodion L Corp itu yang mana ya? City Witch.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나
Sumpah aku
넌
ngantuk nih.
푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Oh iya, Rodia Heiso sudah ada kah? The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay? Sword sharpen with tears. Gak tahu aku. It was just like our last skirmish. The terror that had surrounded the ship returned to sea, even before the battle come to an end. Aduh sakit pinggang mang, badan pegel linu mang. Aduh sakit pinggang mang, badan pegel linu mang. Linu mas kadon sih. Haha. And the retreat fell to orderly and deliberately to be just running away. Claudia Heisho ular sama kayak hack. Oh, Walpurgis kemarin itu. Oh, I see. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. You're doing pretty, but what about the ship? Wow, is the ship okay? Minor damage to be heard, but nothing that will impede the ship operational capability. Phew. So I noticed during the battle, I may be wrong, but but I think I noticed how around the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager. You're probably right. Actually. I noticed this too. At some point during our battle, those monsters will realize that it's manager who's commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. Their movement were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Tears of the Deep worship someone like them? That ain't much. That ain't much a question in it. They must all gone mad. I'm sure they have many reasons, but Seaborn are being of infinite potential. So much so that they're not superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. Pas kagum bikin sakit pinggang hilang seketika. Mau Rodian Elcorp, aku juga mau. As organism, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or new element, they transform themselves and alter form. Maybe that's their draw. That fascination may be an attitude most benefiting everything a researcher. Yet the transformation of the fascination into idolatry, if I be frank, not entirely the promo. I find them very uncomfortable. They just remind me of something of the whale. I run away. Tunggu besok Walpurgis 7 ambil dari dispenser. Yo. Well then, can they adapt to learn language to communicate with us? Huh? Going by everything we heard, I think they should sound like very smart. Her eyes went round at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hand to her mouth, surprised. It's sure was something. I heard there were a seaborn who called help. If non-humans speak the language as human, regardless of his testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive the human. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortion? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortion are phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous form. First observed after white night and dark days in city. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to autist supposition. Kapan Walpurgis? Nggak tahu kapan. Paling pas Canto 9 ditulis. Masih jauh ya berarti. White night, dark day. She whispered quietly, but as we were standing rather close to her, we all caught on the hint of joy in her voice. Fear of the light of city, did it really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Meyer? Oh, that's... I need to fuse. You got the culprit right here. The storylines we've been giving on with no end. Yes, he's been taking non-stop all morning about all kind of story, hasn't he? Huh? Yet I've not forgotten that you again? You didn't get so lost in your own story that you blabber all about our company secret, did you? Maybe I was simply not. Berikan sekali, bentar guys. As Don Kusita was subject to yet another round of scolding, Amiya stared out toward the sea. Worried that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface again before turning to warn us. I wonder which of the two the seaborn are. Their sense of self is really faint. So I don't think they be in either category. I think it's possible that they learn human language out of instinct that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Meyer, are quite expert of the subject reborn. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear or one survival might yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by a chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship those Seaborns. Seaborn don't have any hope or wishes. Just desire for survival. Ismail, does that mean if Seaborn were somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repair complete. I'm guessing repair are done? Yes, the ship ready to set sail. Did you have a departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have any set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon at the earliest. That soon? And you see, we don't have a lot to bring with us. Haha. By the way, how far out? How far out to sea? How far out to sea do you guys need to go? Get good? Get good kenapa anjir? We need to find this dimensional door of short. I could see the dimensional door light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastal bottom. So, we can go back tonight? The first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. Apa sih? Ngerandom. Ayo kita ngerandom. Aku ngantuk banget, please tolong apa yang harus aku lakukan? Oh my god, aku sudah lama banget nggak
이렇게
baca
쉽게 통과하리라곤
kata-kata
상상을
sepanjang itu,
못했는데.
anjir.
새
Alamak,
가들에게
ini juga
은자를
cerita, anjir.
부여해야겠어요. 이런 경사스러운 날에는 조금 풀어줘도 괜찮겠죠.
There's something going on in this village. Yeah, I hear it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship repair complete. We were welcomed by rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Inquisitor. I think we have been found. The Inquisitor dressed in well-kept uniform was about the same height as the Inquisitor. The sword and the lamp hanging from her waist sit in stark contrast with the more rundown ramshackle village. She almost looked like a fixer from the city. So, the Inquisitor has discovered our village. Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition case, citizen? That's a nice dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition misintegration under charge of suspicion of member within the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitor have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its range. From a criminal to an outlaw. What a dramatic evolution of your career. But it's end here now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They have never broken a single law, nor are they the outlaw of any kind. They are not like me. They have disregarded the Inquisition authority, evade the case of Iberia, and found this certain cause to lurk in. Tell me, I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can just start arresting people left and right with the tenuous suspicion like that? You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? Then you might find yourself returning to this village one day, as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Mayor, was he really a pirate? Well, yeah, as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when we ran into with pirate, all he ever did was carving with jerkin to village. Or carry Aegirians between them. Potret tanah penduduk setempat dirampas. Oh no. I'm not gonna read that, bro. Tapi iya sih, Jir. Tapi hell no. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayor, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is he following the proper legal procedure? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Kelsey told us that the word of Inquisitor were pretty much the law here. It's likely that she's following the proper legal procedure. The procedure are precisely what the villagers have fled from after all. Then it is his side. Otis dragged me to the side and whispered outside my earshot. The sinner who was right next to me seems to have picked it up too. Executive manager. We must immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. What? Are you seriously suggesting that we just let them arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seemed quite cut and dry to me. If this is standard procedure with no local law broken, we are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound it too. We can do that. Even if it's standard procedure, even if they are working with the law. It's not. You stay up to hear my story too, didn't you? You know, the Inquisitor were working within the law too, when they came for the village. That was standard procedure too. If anyone has stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I still rather not to take risks in unfamiliar environment like this. I will try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ismail to quickly learn its control. I can say you are wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean current here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can guarantee that we will reach the dimensional door without any trouble. Do you know anything about the sea currents in these two regions? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can fight the Inquisition directly here in Iberia. Playing with the ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? Yeah. I guess it's kinda awkward for us to just take the ship and go, huh? How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor then? I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the chief boss. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisition support. Like Mr. Honglu said. We should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what the Inquisitor has to say. R. Rabbit's right, he says. Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Ryosu would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiot. It's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitors in us, we are already under suspicion. She will doubtless try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Pretty sure that's not what Amiya meant. Well, if she's already under us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. Halo, Parel, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah saya, sudah harus nih, welcome. Kok cara dapat lunasi unlimited hack free no root 2025 gimana? Hell nah, aku aja lunasinya udah miskin, bro. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock hat for a head to reason. But they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? TikTok? What? Which language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you are from Colombia or not, you are clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You are not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about the village to stand between them and an inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days? 2 days? Alright. Enough with this chicanery. Get off of my way, outsider. The attempt appeared to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I'm Amiya, leader of Rhodes Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's close border situation. I felt hope swelling within me as a meow began with confidence. Unlike Sinclair, alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's quick restore, I couldn't help but place my palms against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Oh, so not only are we dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have a legal entry as well? That we had to, because with the issue demand urgency, and I've been brief, presently crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent that issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. They put and await consequence while he and the chatty mad Dr. Yo of yours take it out. Do you know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skill? As for the village chief, I understand you have right to arrest him, as he is fugitive who has fled in the middle of interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is an inhuman treatment to arrest the rest of the village as well. Inhuman? The decision is well within the right bestowed upon the Inquisition. They have lived for years right next to the highest suspicion, Aegir. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they have committed any act treason against our law. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Pokoknya malas main love plek, white neck, nothing there, sensor, belum lagi dapat trio burung. Trio burung apa yang burung phoenix, burung kecil yang tiba-tiba bisa gede, sama burung apa lagi? Aku cuma tahu ada 2 doang sih. Tapi memang love itu mainnya edan sih. Aku ngeliat streamer kesayanganku main itu, alamak buat gila. Listen, they have been surviving for years upon years by the coast without the protection of Inquisition, and then simply cannot make sense. Oi, I think I have enough from you. And it's funny how you are blaming them for what is essentially a failure of your responsibility. And now you are locked up in here, only to go. They should be alive. I'm arresting them all. What? Are you saying these people should be all be dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this, not for this long. The Inquisitor reply only seemed to find Heathcliff right, as he left his bed and began striding forward. That's it. Lads, if you ever so much as touch the tip of single villager hair, please calm yourself, Heathcliff. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hand off me! I have enough of her. Continuing to threaten him will cause something more irrevocable to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. What do you suggest then? We're currently not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor, what do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they actually to survive, they should be at least be suffering for endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end, and they're inevitably of the calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? Then should be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? I'm an inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of every stroke of the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for integration. It's just like I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsider. I promise them a fair judgment, whichever way that may be after a proper investigation. To stop it with this obstruction of justice. Cara dapat lunasi free Norut Dua ginjal. Enggak sih, jadi simpenan. Maksudku. Anyway, the Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante, without the full picture of the circumstance, Paul's advice against further antagonism of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocent, like Miss Meyer told us about earlier. I don't think she is anything like the inquisitor of an corp we saw back at Paul. They were right. He didn't have the full picture of the circumstance. Getting in the way of an inquisitor was clearly rather significant political entity in the area was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the inquisitor's job to answer your question. Continue to obstruct me then, as a stand of a showing no sign of ending. Miss Mayor, I can answer your question. So for now, let's do as the inquisitor says. Mayor had been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village. Suddenly stepped forward. He had what of thy grandfather and villagers? It's alright. I'm sure this is happening only because Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you will answer the question? How about the profound silence? My response to Atis was about single concept. I didn't quite grasp, grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they call the calamity that destroy Iberia. Simpanan apa Enggak apa-apa. Kamu gak denger apa-apa kan guys? Gak ada, aku gak ngomong apa-apa kok. Aku gak ngomong apa-apa kok guys.
이 경로는 스모들게 나쁘지 않군 거래.
You decade ago, a great wave refaced Iberia. It wasn't long before the seaborns carried by the wave dismissed the Iberia brilliant civilization to this. The wave, the province island then must have reduced the village to its current state as well. Is there any reason it's called profound silence? It doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. It's because the sea went dead silent before the wave came. The silent then claimed ship out of the silent then claimed ship out of sea, then the city Iberia, then the Iberians. No one could say a word in face of the inevitable calamity. What? Just what are you? However, that Iberian citizen could be privy to any of the information you are sharing. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be eager from the sea due to the citizenry of Iberia and are sowing chaos in her land. So that's why they are arresting the eager left and right. I can say the thought process, but huh. It's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us, Dante. This isn't good. Sharing that seems to have been some kind of taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stared at Mayor. Her eyes were filled with threats of anger and confusion, but afraid. There was fear in the face of the threat. Not the fear of terrified, no. It's a fear of someone who suddenly confront with something they must destroy. Ntar kayak mulutku capek. Sas. Enggak, aku suka tapi iya sih aku suka Suswa. The High Inquisitor once told me, should I come across a kid who knows too much, there's a sliver of chance that they may be assistant to Iberia. Yes, those are turning the innocent with the brandishing of the firearms, but most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Those there, with little doubt, are fool. I got bad feeling about this. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quick on the upstick as always. Radia slung wires over her shoulder and ran past the villager, while the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor drew her firearm, and in the midst of all action, Inquisitor rushed toward the Inquisitor without moment of hesitation. Don Quisite? Thou shalt not go further! I, officer of justice, shall not be abided by us to persecute them. For should this battle delayed, not avoided, this clash is inevitable. In that moment of crisis, second before this could irrevocably make us a new enemy, Monet, a large obsidian crystallization in shape of monster burst forth between the two of them. Gah! What is this time? That's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Kansi! Do you know her? Yes, she's Dr. Kasi, Rhodes Island Medical Department. Ah, Dr. Kasi, behind you! It first, talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhode Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory under the Inquisition authorization. The Inquisitor fired a blast of fire-looking weapon, but no monster summoned by Calcit managed to deflect it, and the cannonball thrown by the weapon punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night in, before punching through several other buildings behind it. This was enough to instantly freeze the sinner and the villager on the spot. That penetrate a building. Though there was maybe weaker than the head standard for the town as the building as the real wall, to punch through so many is... What a precise point it makes. No, it's not the time to stand around impressed. Is this violation of taboo to have that much penetrative power in a firearm? We are not in the city. Don't lose your head over this. Taboo don't apply here. I had known that to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. That is enough of that discussion for now. It is inevitable that we carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand instead of deliberating on a taboo of the jurisdiction of which does not reach this far. Yeah, so the situation gotten slightly better, right? If she's Mamiya friend, she's our ally. Besides, she got some superpower looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. Is that what you think? I apologize for disappointment, but I am not anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally might not be entirely correct. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you that the closest label could be that I'm Inquisitor Iron Island. Dr. Kalsit, Amiya, outsider. As much as you would like to deny it, the Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process by which he reached the conclusion was unfair, the conclusion itself, without a doubt, is correct. So, they are collectively connected to the Church of Deep? That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they are connected to the Church of Deep. They are the church of deep. Perhaps the field itself is the repeated church of their congregation. Our village? A church? Just look at our building. Where would we even congregate? Your thought pose? There are no many resources. There are no many resources by which we may analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amiya College has made the same argument as the Inquisitor bring the accused defense into question. Yet, I can hardly believe that young Mayor is lying to us. Hold on, you have been chatting plenty with the Inquisition or whatever. How do we know you weren't aligned with them the whole time? I see, you are really all entirely in the dark. Unexpected outcome. Given that all of you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there is no need for you know it anyway. Truth is truth and janji. Without the exception from an errant group of outsiders. Bisa soon. Intinya ceritanya, halo slime, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah suara sini, welcome. Intinya ceritanya itu di di event ini kita terdampar. Terus Dante ketemu sama Amiya. Amiya ternyata udah ketemu duluan sama sinner lain. Sinner lain nyariin Dante. Amiya ketemu duluan menghubungi sinner. Terus mari gitu Amiya cerita kalau misalnya dia datang ke Iberian itu secara ilegal, ketemu Dante dan kawan-kawan, terus ke sebuah village yang ternyata village-nya itu Church of the Deep. Village-nya itu dia penuh dengan orang-orang yang melarikan diri dari Inquisition. Terus Inquisition terus hari gitu kita para sinernya itu benerin kapalnya karena mereka mau ke Aegir, mau pergi dari tempat ini. Setelah itu orang-orang di sini ternyata ketemu Inquisitor yang udah nyari mereka, yang ternyata mereka itu kabur dari Integration, lebih tepatnya Fabius doang sih atau chiefnya. Lalu tiba-tiba Kalsit datang dan mengatakan semua hal itu. Next semoga Aka yang collab sama Limbus, amin. I'm sorry, it seems that we have mired you into this trouble. Say no such thing. We should not abide by as one such injustice is perpetrated for our eyes. The village has already intervened by Inquisition, and the Inquisition have even broke an ally. It seems quite unlikely that words shall resolve this conflict. But we promise you, we will take responsibility for what is done. We have been far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulled a dagger from his cloth, and I immediately knew what Kalsit was about to say. Take responsibility, you don't have to go that far. Gah! Blimey. We are now departing for the sea, yet as we cannot bring ourselves to live you here, I must ask you to join us this journey, become our blood king. What are you doing? Stop! Anticipate, or perhaps I was simply in denial of the rising dread. Ambush did not end there. Damn it, the Inquisitor was right? The villagers suddenly began shanking the sinner with weapons they had concealed in their clothes, and it seemed that they were coming for me as well. Amiya, on your left! Amiya materialized while ribbon-like apparition, firing away the dagger flying in my direction. But another villager rushed in, taking advantage of that opening. The charging flipping back made its visceral crunching noise. Oh. Someone flung them away. Didn't mean to be this late. Daddy, let me catch up you to speed. I know the situation. This fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. What about the sinners? Unlike Amiya and I, who managed to survive the initial ambush, the sinners weren't doing so well. At least we had a silver lining in that the Inquisitor uncasted quick understanding of the situation, and the subsequent retaliation led the villager away from the sinners. Oh, I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold an animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? We are not trying to hurt you. We are simply trying to give you a form better suited for the sea. Until we were obstruct. I apologize for an unfamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big thing about what happened. What's truly unforgivable is that the heretic tried to take advantage of ignorance of the outsider to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are an outsider, any life lost on Abraham's side are my responsible. It's my fault. I am sorry it come to this. Wait, life lost? We are still alive, you know. We can shake off that one like this is most unfortunate, outsider. What? Your friends are either going to die or turn into seaports. The danger that stabbed them were laced with the flash of sea terror. Once that happened, most die, and the survivor become unforgotten by their self, become nothing more than another sea monster. What? That's not a very big deal? Everyone was acting like this was it for the sinner, but hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's not that bad. My only concern was that I didn't know what would happen if I tried bring the back after they're fully transformed into their seaborns. The golden bone helped deal with the vaporification effect, but I had no idea how it would interact with seaborn transformation. You should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but what? Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my friend? And preferably in the least painful way, you know? Oh, sorry, was the last part kind too much to ask? Oh, wait, don't give up already. If we bring them back to Rogers Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you? Don't they? I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength had reverted the rest and the ambush. It's kind of tingly too, so maybe they use some kind of paralytic cocktail? Just trust me this one time, I can assure you that I'm just not giving up on them. But, Amiya, can you understand the outsider speech? Yes, it's just that they're making a pretty difficult request. They want me to kill all their friends before they transfer into seaborn. Okay. And before we even know it, Skadi had already decapitated the sinner, none of whom resists. Yeah, Amiya seems to have been taken aback by how fast Skadi jumped into action. What are you doing? Skadi? Don't let this spook you, this is just how we roll. The clock turns. The decapitated head creeps towards the headless torso, connecting with the threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. It felt as though the sinner and I are severed from the rest of world, rewinding in isolation. In this rewinding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? This pain is multifold worse than the sensation of straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death or reverse, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. There weren't disappearing, resurrection, metamorphosis, or time reversal. Metamorphosis are puzzling. I have no knowledge with to interpret this into the technology. The cause seems to be that the pain is transferred to one who rewinds. But that's some too small to price for such a great power. So the discussion of whether this can be categorized as power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All of my limbs were trembling from icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and ordered the sinner. I don't know what they were just thinking, but we should be able to find out once we talk them down. You dare to deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare yourself for the assault. Now pay the price for making a mockery of justice. Yeah, we can just let this slide, you know. How unfortunate. I had high hope that all of you would become fine Blockins. Fight, 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 we fight. Gas. Aku lumayan ya bacanya.
어떻게
야, 야, 야.
명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자, 뱀으로 꿰뚫어라. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
사여, 길을 열어. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
Eva gak ada dup. Iya anjir, Eva gak ada dup. Aku capek aku ngomong jer. Nggak ada dup, ya kita harus menjadi dupnya sendiri, anjay. Dan ternyata villager yang kita defense itu ternyata memang dari curse of deep ya, kita malah diserang jadi supaya biar jadi bloodkinnya jadi si born lah. Emang anjing kok. Si Amia sama Kalsit kaget lah sama kekuatannya si Dante. Soalnya resurrection coy, mana ada tuh kekuatan kayak gitu. Kalau kayak gitu kan gampang tuh di ini kalau misalnya sakit gitu langsung dibunuh, terus kayak gitu clocknya di terbalik, jadi deh sembuh. Yeah, ternyata Fabiannya dia itu ya bisa jadi si Born juga ya, ada tentakelnya. Oh my god. Padahal di Terra juga sana banyak anomalinya. Iya anjir. Anomali itu tadi Fabian jadi manusia ada tentakel anjir. Oh, aku pernah dapet ini waktu di MG anjir. Lumayan gampang sih. Apalagi aku udah punya Honglu. Oh itu kenapa kalah semua, hoi? Di sini yang ngelawan ini. Itu ini.
합격장.
Dan yap, poinku bakal kalah mulu.
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 지워버리죠.
Itu nggak apa namanya, nggak habis-habis anjir shieldnya. Meninggal. Distort Mayor bisa spawn win rate asalkan sanity 45 aja. Bisa lah. Win rate. Oh, shieldnya hancur, mantap.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Mantap. Now you will die in the Honglu hand.
친히 목을 떨궈주마.
What the heck? Shieldnya panjang banyak banget anjir. Bisa lah. Anjir. Masuk PS2 siap-siap spam ego aja, wajib bawa fluid sack atau yang collab kalsi, soalnya setiap attack Distort Mayor ngasih sinking. Ah iya, dikasih efek sinking jir. Tentunya aku punya fluid sack sih. Ayo sinking beneran dah.
이건 예상 못했나?
Hacker kah? Hacker kan? You cannot resist Honglu power. Yap, meninggal.
이제야 완성되었나?
Gampang jir, gak apa namanya, gara-gara dapet Honglu. Everything is gonna be fine. Wait, I think they are heading to... He's running himself into dead end. Are they seeking a refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship. That's where they are headed. They're trying to board the vessel masses. Wait, but we never told them that the ship was repaired. So how? And it obvious the whole village is on it. It ain't surprised seeing someone to spy on us, or they know a way to get the ship floating even in its broken state. Vessel masas? Vessel Rebellion de la Masas. That ship is moored at the port in that direction. Wait, it can be! Kiran, who was preoccupied by battling the rest of followers of the Church of the Deep who were hiding, quickly gave chase. The Fabius and the villager were already aboard the repaired ship, slowly departing the harbor with a horde of sea terror between us and them. How can a vessel of that size become operational this fast? The exterior, the name, it must be constructed during the golden age of Iberia. But how are we supposed to chase that? What if we put Brav and rode after them? Wait, come on! Sea full of sea terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. Do you see something, Amiya? You keep looking in that direction. Oh, the vessel must have soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty with nary a sign of people ever having been there, as though this gateway had all been premeditated. Belum itu, baru setengah jalan, belum juga lawan last night. Kataku. Leaving only Mayors. Mayors ditinggal, berarti Mayors anaknya siapa anjir? Tapi bukannya kita nanti ngelawan Mayor ya? Kan ada apa namanya musuh yang namanya Mayor kan?
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진 길.
Yalah, sorry lagi anjir, udah 4:30.
세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
Pas masuk danger, Mayor itu last boss. Damn it. Can we just take any ship to go after it? It's research vessel. It can't possibly be very fast. This will be difficult. Even if it's research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the golden age of Iberia. No average ships can keep up with it. Tuh gatel mataku anjir. Ntar guys. Atau aku gatel. Halo Pak Sony, welcome. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah suara sini, welcome. This is a problem because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few small vessels left, which are all anchored too far for this location to be feasible option. Do we have any recourse? No, not unless we can identify the exact location of the vessel. This is why it's the real problem. We can find ourselves the ship, go after them, yes. But most eye of Liberia, a lighthouse, we were lost during the profound silence. Wait, when you say most, do you mean that there are some left? This one, as far as I know, the one in Grand Faro, but that lighthouse cannot be used at this moment. There's another. There's a lighthouse you can use. Really? Are you really going to give one of the villagers that the benefit of the doubt? Yet Yoskadi had already confirmed her to be safe. A line confirm is whether the she is of seaborn or not. Can't know if she is cultist. It's true, yet once we saw that Meyer was left all on her own, we decided to have her accompany us at all times and keep her within iron eyesight. Ingat kata Mbah Nerun, jangan lupa minum deh. Oh iya, kalian jangan lupa minum guys. Aku udah bawa minum di sebelahku, soalnya dari tadi ngomong terus anjir, aku ngedubing nih game ya. Walaupun dubbingnya jelek ya. Yaudahlah ya. You couldn't possibly blame her for what happened, given scary confirmation that she doesn't have anything to do with those sea monster. Besides, they all left her behind. But Iron still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. The problem with the Aegir is that she simply knows too much. Where could she possibly have gained access to all that information? See? She can't even answer that question. But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? The location of that lighthouse, for example. They are ticking rapidly. What did they say? Then they say that we should approach it differently and ask her what we don't know, like the location of the lighthouse. That seems like a reasonable suggestion to me. Or does the Inquisitor just the alternate solution to this conundrum? No, but fine, let's hear it. I won't interrogate you, but how you have access to things that even us Inquisitor don't know. At least not right now. Okay. Parom Muerto Dead Lighthouse. That's our name. That's our village name. Somewhere in a little way off on the coastline. There's intact Eye of Iberia on the sea. I thought it must almost destroyed when Provençal was swept through. Of the coastline? Is it not connected to the line? I think it used to be until it sank. We should be able to procure ourselves enough modern material from the village to build a raft. Is it near enough for a raft to be the means for access? The weather not great today, but it should do. It's not very far from the coast. Even you are going to trust Aegir? I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand that Iberian mysteries of Aegir quite profound, yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. Inquisitor Irene, what did you feel when you saw the Rhodes Island operator? If you're talking about the Kautus, nothing in particular other than a slight annoyance when she accused me from being inhuman. So you didn't harbor any hostility or disgust. Not that you not that you would have possessed any sense of sympathy or empathy either. I thought I have no history of feeling for or against it or against the Aikis. That must be the same for the outsiders. What's this on about? She's conveying that in matter in regards to mayor, our opinion are objective than iron. Finding the vessel Fabius commanded will be benefit to all. Limbus company will gain an opportunity to return to the city via the dimensional door, while Rhodes Island will have the chance to study it and at a closer proximity. And the Inquisitor will gain possession of the vessel in which the technology from Iberian Golden Age is contained. What you are going to? What? You're going to just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we covet what was once Iberia? Well, there certainly are aspects to that vessel that draw interest. I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as the Mephisto Palace. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in Mayor. Padahal ya mayornya sama aja, anjir. Capek banget. We are in luck, executive manager. Is it quite fortunate that our interests align exactly with that of the first stranger we encountered in strange land? Taki is right. Imagine we were back in the city. It would have taken them like 3 or 4 free distortion hands for us to come to this agreement. Sorry about having to saddle you with this, Mayor. Please let us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. So when did you almost destroy it? How almost destroyed is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse a long time ago. But the ship is still stand. At least it was when I saw it a few months ago. If the lighthouse is in inoperable state, you're going to need an expert technician to get it back in working order. The technology is based on completely divorced from the popular application of Originium technology. So I doubt there's anyone out there who can work with it anymore. Then you needn't worry about that. Here we have an engineer and a researcher who are genius. Even among those in the city, so we should able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just revelation after revelation, huh? I can vouch for Limbus company skill. I can also work on the simple tasks. I have learned thing or two helping out Graham. Stuff about the lighthouse or various tech stuff. Well, shall we all head to the lighthouse together? No, I'll be leaving in the living group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. What? After all that, you're just going off on your own? Yes, to join Doctor. It is imperative for the successful execution in this mission. Of course, that hints on Amiya's and Scotty meaning behind here to assist the rest of you. Thus, I will leave it to the rest of you to take Eye of Iberia, the lighthouse, back. Wait, what do you mean to take back the lighthouse? Welcome, San. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras-waras nih, welcome. Is there someone or something out there that taken over the lighthouse called the Eye of Iberia? I likely supposition. Amiya, what did Manager Limbus say inside? They are asking if the lighthouse has been taken over by something. Not a bad intuition. Aduh, mataku kelipan lagi. Nah udah. Selamat ulang tahun Dante. Tuk 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 tuk. TikTok TikTok anjir. Yes, there is a high likelihood that the structure has already been overrun by sea terrors. I don't know about overrun, but I have encountered them a few times when we approach it too closely. Normally, this is hard enough for Sonal to attempt a raid on the lighthouse, but answer me this. Are there any limitations for their revival? There are no restriction as long as Dante, the manager, survives. However, do note that battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battle due to mounting mental stress on the manager. No need to change the plan, then. Amiya, use the communicator to alert me as soon as you are able to identify the coordinate of the vessel from the lighthouse. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the retrieval mission. Okay, as long as you're not taking everyone with you, if it's just her who is leaving, then go ahead. I think we should be fine too. Bentar, kan ada Skadi. Yang Honggu siapa? Then let us commence vision. Vessel masses retrieval. Right. Oh, step 1 of the plan. Correct, right? Let's go. Let's get on with it. It's done. Let's go. What? What are you looking at us like that? Is there something bothering you? Must you ask? Just look at how proactive and quick she is jumped to action. Certainly live up to the image of an employee working for a large corporation. Thanks Otis for the charitable view, I guess. Thanks to Skadi, who had already finished the first step of the plan, we were able to move on to step 2 immediately. Skadi diam-diam udah selesai semua anjir. Di cerita emang gitu Kak, dia diem tapi udah nyelesain semua tasnya gitu. Gila anjir. Alah kepencet. Saatnya kita perang. After a while of carefully sailing on scary raft along the coastal cliff, a gargantuan shrouded lighthouse emerged from thick mist. Kukira lighthouse biasa anjir. Lighthouse-nya besar banget. Eye of Iberia. Even in its dilapidated ruined state, thoughts that are at once monumental and sensitive are apparent on the exterior construction of the lighthouse. Some even call this lighthouse guardian of Iberia. It retained the grandeur of the era, as it was built during the Golden Age. Lighthouse-nya bukan sembarang lighthouse, anjir. You really know everything, don't you? It is as he said, but now, these lighthouses are nothing but graveyard of countless inquisitor and soldier of the penal battalion. No one whose attempt to retrieve lighthouse has ever survived the expedition. Can you please not say scary stuff like that, Miss Irene? We are literally about to walk into one. Don't you ever quit chirping? What are you, a foul beast? Stop yapping in my ear. Why is one such a coward unlike the rest of you, outsider? I'm not a coward. I'm just voicing my... Did it just say some pretty concerning stuff? How long do you think the reaper will take? exterior is rather heavily damaged. However, from what is visible from outside, its interior is quite intact. With Miss Paul's expertise, this should not take very long. Yisang guessed with a smile, but Paul's maintained her silence for the entire journey to the lighthouse, then said something pretty concerning in response. Of course, my wish remains unmarred, even in such uncertainty cases. The current are pretty wild. Someone going to have to stay behind and keep an eye on the raft. You can just leave it and we can just leave it here unattained, but I don't know if we can carry it either. I will stay here and protect the ship. You sure you can handle this alone? I know you are strong, but maybe one or more two more people should stay behind just in case. No, don't need them. Kitara will swarm the island if I go with you anyway. So this has nothing to do with you. So what she's trying to say is that she's worried about you not having enough people to take on the lake house when she can handle this area alone. Which is why she's okay with staying behind alone. Thanks for explaining. Some people just can't help but hope through an extra hope, I guess. Well then, let's trust her. You'll be back, Scary. Stage ini. Apa ini? Stage apa ini? Luckily, we didn't run into any sea terror on our way to the lighthouse gate. The problem was that the gate were bound shut by string bruised you. Remind me of that L Corp branch back at U Corp. So that was one was white. I don't think I can do anything to force it open myself. So, guys, can you pry open this door? Oi, move over. I will pull from the right side. You grab the left, and we will all pull together at 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Something off here. What are you doing? The door is firmly secured in place. This flash tissue regenerates almost as soon as this door. Perhaps you will need to tap it into wilder form of art to get this open. Well, what now? This strange flesh tissue growing on the case is the terror. It rests to the lamp, but it's grown too much to be affected by it in any meaningful capacity. Katie might be able to open this door with her incredible strength, but should I go first her? But I think she has already fighting off the sea terror from sinking the raft. So we are on our own. Oh, we are all on our own. Lebih gampangan IS3 daripada ini. Really? Really? Maybe there's an identity card or icon I could use to get this through this. So which one? Huh? Just as I was wondering, a familiar question. A faint black glow came into view and devoured my sight. It's not intuition or inspiration. It's different from those sudden flashes of realization. And it's not the star of the day. That is, I think from time to time. It's not the horrible door that I see every time I turn the clock either. The formless and black space in which not for me to see. A faint noise, a whisper, but truly. And through that opening I see light. I reach out to the opening and see Cuddy, born from a very, very warm gaze. Cuddy? Powerful imagery crashed into me like the wave. Cuddy, the staggering dancer wielding a blade. Cuddy, who flung her flowing lock. And Cuddy, the singer, humming in a low voice. Beyond the fringe of cognition, Cuddy existence has become engraved. The sinner who can wrestle and control this arsenic tidal power is... Dante, are you alright? I'm good, and I don't think we will need to scan study for study. What? Hey Ismail, I have never used this ego before, but I need you to trust me and accept it. What? An ego? I not quite. Well, it's not like we ever get to have a practice run with those ego, whatever it is. Seems to me our manager found a solution. The confusion is short-lived. She let out a courtly laughter before stepping forward, boldly twirling her mace once. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Get borrowed? Hell nah.
한눈 팔지 마세요.
Hell nah.
파도는 반드시 밀려올 테니.
Luar meledak. A crack on the lighthouse and crack on the lighthouse are growing? I think she's destroyed the door instead opening it. Sorry, didn't think it'd be this strong. Well, the door is open. What are we waiting for? No, I mean, what? Just what was the part where you... What? The part where I suddenly changed into a different outfit and equip a different personality? Ini game self-conscious banget ya, anjir. Hell no. Hell no. Yes, that. That is most fascinating. That an echo could be thrown here, in lieu of mirror of Mephistopheles. I think I connect to Amia's subconscious mind. There was this strange unfamiliar light, and I saw Amia's emotion attached to her memory and experience. So I just reached out to them. My subconscious mind? I just had this feeling that it would work. Sorry about peering in without asking first. But I didn't see anything other than thinking about Sketty. All I need were memories and emotion that can be used to understand the being that is Sketty. It's okay. I also have experience with gaining power from other memories and emotion to overcome a difficult situation. Maybe that's how you were able to draw something from me as well, Dante? This is the most appropriate assumption, especially in situation in which delving into its principle is possible. So that's called ego? Why, of course, Limbus company ego is quite distinguished from the other kind of ego which are blown from within oneself. That is enough. No further information is to be divulged to outsiders. Yeah, it matter no matter young Mayor and young Amiya learn to this. I agree with that fool this time. The Inquisitor used an arterial projectile that penetrated the outer wall, several of them in fact off-building, and the head did not pursue her following that breach of taboo. This is clearly not the city. I need better to let her talk her out. I need better to let her talk her out than to hear her moan and whine about not being able to say anything. I'm convinced. Do as you will then. Paul's reply sounded almost sulking, but the Inquisitor immediately began to expound upon Echo to Iron and Mayor anyway. But everyone was too busy to pay attention to her, as a wet, slithering noise from a distance had put everyone on edge. Can we do that later? We have got some cleaning up to do. So there were more sea terror past the door. I think any sea terror from the sea are all converging around Sketchy. This means our only roadblock are sea terror still lingering around the lighthouse. Let's go. Let's take this lighthouse back. Perang akhirnya anjir. Aku nggak ngomong terus anjir. Nah, akhirnya.
정화.
시비수에게 명한다. 이 앞에 숨쉬는 자 누구 하나 살려보내지 마라.
Jangan lupa minum guys, terutama aku sih. Ngomong mulu dari tadi.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Yuhu.
길을 열어라.
Anjir, heisoku.
허술하게. 시도는 좋았어요.
One hit anjir. Ada beberapa yang langsung one hit anjay. What is that, bro?
깨어라.
Kill 2 Ismail emang sakit. Iya anjir, sakit banget jir, sumpil. Satu kali loh meninggoy langsung jir. Kali serangannya masuk langsung meninggal. Apalagi kalau tim udah main rupture. Iya anjir, semuanya rupture ini BTW. Poinnya banyak soalnya.
쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Meninggal lagi anjir. Kecuali Yisang ya, Yisang ngegacha soalnya. Ya koinnya kalah. Enggak, kalah.
혈염도 바로. 뭐야?
Buset, langsung kalah. Apa ini? Kena Honglu mode easy kah? What? Berapa turn ini bro? What?
정화.
비뚤어졌구려.
다시 좋은 결투였다.
Gonggong efek, iya anjir gonggong efek. Asik banget.
벌게서.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘
Apalagi apa
생각해봐요.
namanya? Aku udah dapat berapa? Empat orang heiso anjir.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
Honglu, Gregor, Sinclair sama Is.
이건 예상 못했나 봐.
점 찍었네.
Kalau misalnya aku nggak dapat Hongkong, kayaknya apa namanya lebih lama dari ini dah. Sama Is, kawan dia bukan heiso. Oh, kawan kah?
지원했군.
Dia bukan heiso kah? Aduh, bunga sialan.
이건 예상 못했나 봐. 깔끔하게 물었군.
합격장.
Apa namanya? Emailnya gini, heiso bodyguard. Ismail putrinya.
승부처다.
Ya memang itu sih ID-nya Ismail itu adiknya itu kan si Cun itu kan.
흙으로.
점 찍었네.
Yoi adiknya Hongkong. Hohohoho. Aku cuma tahu gitu doang sih.
저 해충들을
Aku belum tahu ceritanya si Honglu kayak gimana soalnya.
길을 열어라.
흙에서
다시 결투는
Aku sukanya sih apa namanya beberapa skillnya Heiso itu apa namanya kayak bisa AOE anjir. Ini si Chun Ismail ini bisa AOE. Si siapa tuh tadi? Sinclair juga. Aku nggak tahu kalau Gregor. Si Chun udah mulai muncul kok di Kanto 7. Alasannya karena apa? Kakaknya mau pulang kah? Aku masih kanto 5 anjir.
비뚤어졌구려.
Ntar kalau 3 baru selesai. Masih jauh panjangnya.
몰아넣었으니 더는 못 따라나.
Bunuh mereka kawan. Bunuh mereka kawan.
목을
Musuhnya
떨고
sinking
싶어.
ya. Cincin mah nggak AOE tapi maju mundur mainnya. Maju mundur. Banyak AOE ya. Soalnya aku ngeliat dia bisa nyerang
정화.
apa namanya sampai dua musuh.
좋은 결투였다.
Harus bawa backup biasanya di dungeon atau MB.
고작
Masa Sinclair doang?
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
One hit anjir si Honglu. Aku suka si Gregor soalnya warnanya ungu. Hehe. Warna ungunya cakep banget. Oh my god. Bunga? Bunga? Bunganya udah meninggal. Sakit banget anjir. Yang aja skill 3 Gregor Mer attack backnya berapa?
예상 못했나 봐.
Ntar aku belum cek. Aku cuma naikin aja kemarin anjir. Bunga yang ngeselin memang. Iya anjir. Damage-nya gede banget coy.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Belum mati.
넌
예,
푸름을
meninggal.
틔울 수도 없겠구나.
You're done in here. Mari bertepuk tangan dulu. Let's go, last night ini. Bisa lah sampai last night atau aku nggak bisa hari ini aku ada janjian.
핏물진 길일 뿐이지만
이거 참 설레는구려.
Dari Aka kan gitu. Bersyukurlah karena mereka nggak ngasih batu. Batu? Ada batu di Aka. Habis itu last night. Habis ini last night. Aku cuman bisa sampai setengah 6 doang sih.
모조리
이 앞에
지워버리죠.
숨쉬는 자 누구 하나 살려보내지 마라. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
Setelah ini apa namanya aku lanjutin. Maybe tomorrow, tapi maybe juga hari apa? Hari yang main event Undertale tahu pasti gimana rasanya.
죽었네.
Yang main Undertale
남은 어디로?
bau keramik sialan. Hah? What happened jir? Apa yang terjadi? Ntar bunganya nggak akan belum kalau misalnya nggak serang. What the fuck? Ini bunganya nanti aja kalau. Ya, belum ada yang lawan ini kan belum.
어떡.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
Bunuh
예상
dia.
못했나 봐.
Bunuh dia. Lastnya cepet kok, iya kah? Yang lama nanti yang last bossnya kan ya. Kira-kira berapa kali ya aku nyerangnya? Ini ke defend ya? Nge-count lebih tepatnya. Mana ada yang lawan ini?
Attack.
Kalau normal menangnya cukup bertahan aja. Kalau main mode hard harus dikalahin. Oh,
고작 이 정도
harus dikalahin
탕후의
kalau hard.
넌 푸름을
Kapan-kapan
틔울
aja lah ya
수가
mode
없겠구나.
hardnya. Iya, aku notice juga dari chapter 5 atau dari kanto dari interval udah level 3. Kita sekarang udah ada apa namanya mode normal sama hardnya ya. Yakin emang bisa bertahan. Bawa Rodia sih. Rodia sama si Paus yang nge-heal itu. Ada ego nge-heal dua-duanya.
시도는 좋았어요.
Kayaknya Rodia aku nggak ada itu anjir, nggak ada. Rodia aku nggak ada ID yang
날개를
bagus.
펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
Intervalo yang Natal udah mulai ada, berarti
무상한 목숨
ya Intervalo 3 part 1.
불끈한 지원일 뿐.
Bunganya bangun jeng. Bunganya bangun jeng. Kok kamu bangun sih? Aku perasaan nggak ngerang kamu deh.
비뚤어졌구려.
Saatnya nyerang bunga.
결투는 끝나지 않았다.
What?
뱀으로 꿰뚫어라. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
100 critical, what?
사여, 길을 열어라.
깔끔하게 물었군.
Dihabisin semua, jir. Meninggal. Aku harus nyerang bunga dulu sih. Everyone ini struggling semua jir. Ayo serang bunga semuanya. Saya tidak peduli. Kenapa struggling dah? Pakai kau. Ya struggling aku. Oke.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이
Tiger. Sedot debu dulu nggak sih? Sedot debu? Apa tuh sedot dulu? Maksudnya apa anjir sedot debu anjir?
한눈 팔지 마세요.
Keren banget anjir ini.
파도는 반드시 밀려올 테니.
Anjir, dilempar jir. Wih, boom. Anjir. Tesnya hancurin biar ngurangin debuff kelelep thinner. Udah itu hancur kan? Kena apa namanya? Kena ego. Ayo. Bunganya juga udah meninggal. Nggak ada bunga lagi.
날개를 펼치고
Belum.
발톱을 걸어.
Tadi kayaknya sudah keserang dah.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
Oh iya, Vismail punya 2 animasi collab. Lupa syarat aktifnya gimana. Iya? Oh iya? Sih banget punya 2.
합격장.
Itu ada bunga lagi. Ini berapa wave anjir? Kayaknya udah wave ketiga dah. Hancurin pas attack terakhir, Mer. Oh, bukannya ngancurinnya pas attack awal ya? 25 musuh doang. Lanjir, banyak banget. Terus musuhnya sinking semua dah.
어떡.
Kadang nggak bisa, sedot debunya kadang nggak bisa di apa namanya, masih belum bisa di attack awal-awal. Kadang-kadang doang sedot debunya.
닭은 달. 고작 이 정도 탕류의
아,
허덕이나.
쎄.
저 혈염들을 도려내라.
Wah, bunganya bangun. Wah, bunganya bangun, Jer. No! Please, don't kill Sinclair. What?
길을 열어라.
What? Oke. Itu karena bos musuh nggak ada. Karena aku kira ngilangin kelelep. Buat ngilangin kelelep. Ngilangin kelelep. Oh, help, I am under the water. Aduh. Ntar aku kasih ini. Aku harus sarang bunganya sih. Keliru. Oh, itu apa sih? Boom. Kita harus kalahkan bunganya. Udah. Oh, ini kurang.
자,
Ya kiri atas itu loh. Kalau ada angkanya berarti musuh ke buff. Personal anjir sama bunga. Bunga kalau misalnya sekali nyerang sakit banget anjir, sumpah. Bisa langsung stagger. Harus langsung dikalahin anjir. What is that kill, bro? What? What? What is happening?
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Lumayan.
명에 따라 홍원을 지켜라.
Lah. Loh, kok dia board? Oh, skillnya interesting sekali. Au, au, au. Aduh, disinking, jir. Woi, iki udah berapa, anjir? Oh, nggak bisa dioprok. Kok nggak bisa dioprok? Bisa dong. Kenapa nggak bisa dioprok? Belumnya kurang ya.
날개를 펼치고
Ya Allah.
발톱을 걸어.
Keliru. Ya alah, keliru tadi, jir. Lah. Let's go. Pakai Rodion LC Ego S3 langsung kelar. Selama pakai yang versi Coin Sanity. Hah? LC Ego S3? Yang mana tuh? Langsung kelar. How is that possible?
완성되었나?
혈염도 바로.
Suaranya crunchy banget anjir.
모아쳐라.
Udah kah? Udah nggak? Oh, udah nggak nambah lagi. Bagus lah.
어떡.
당신의 죄는 이 땅에서 벌할 수 없으니 눈을 감고
Meninggal semua nggak sih?
명하신 형벌을
Kurang satu lagi, jir.
날개를 펼치고
좋은
발톱을
결과.
걸어. 혈염도 바로.
Oh, enemy done. Oh, okay. That's a long time to finish, eh? Very long time.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군. 핏물진
The
길일
Fabled
뿐이지만
Night. Ini berapa lama guys? BTW?
세월이 지나면
Anjay.
그제야 알게 되겠지.
Eh,
이 홍루가
기차와 같이 달려나가겠소.
there were more sea terrors than we expect near to the lighthouse, but berapa menit bertahan aja, Mer. Thanks to Iron Lamp, the light of which paralyzed their nervous system, paired with the rather narrow passageway, we were able to handle them without much trouble. Pokoknya kalau misalnya ini gagal, aku langsung end stream. Also, as the control room was, unlike the external wall, mostly undamaged, Paul shared the good news that the repairs most likely won't take very long. Yisang was right. Fortunately, the inside is barely damaged. How are you progressing, Miss Faust? Almost complete. We best prepare to leave. Then I will let your doctor lead. Ah! Tremors shook the building with loud boom, and debris began to fall from the ceiling. The lighthouse precarious floor suddenly collapsed from the shock. Ah! The floor is giving away! What's going on out there? Something rammed against the eye of Iberia. I see. Slithering through the ocean surface, the sheer explosive force, turning water into mist. And it is charging at us once again. As Yisang noted, I saw a shadow of dark figure through the ruptured outer wall of the lighthouse, charging furiously at the ruined structure. Kalau menang tamatin ya. Aku menang nggak bisa tamatin, aku udah kolap. The figure looked a lot like one of the knights of the city, western region the Inquisitor would talk at length about. The lighthouse might crumble at this rate. Then we have no choice. We have to stop whatever out there. Oh, stay here. The rest of us will descend the lighthouse and the lighthouse is almost fully functional. It will only take some finishing touches to have its light shine again, which I can handle, so I will stay behind. It seems entirely unnecessary to leave the rest to you. I would much rather to leave it to Faust, who is an expert. I have read about Reborn before. The fable and the legend say that he is the last knight, and if the story have any grain of truth in them, you're going to need all hands on deck to even have a chance at spelling it. You better prepare for a few days of interrogation once I bring you into the Inquisition. Your decision, executive manager. I'll hand on deck. Leave the lighthouse to Mayor. We have to put stop to the night somehow. Gila, keren banget ini night-nya. With grace, height, and violence behind the spear-wielding knight. Aku yakin banyak fan artnya dia. We have to protect the already precarious lighthouse against the knight. The knight begins to charge at us. He's dead, breathing at a very sea, and I instinctively know that this isn't going to be easy. Kali gagal aku langsung out. Soalnya sudah 5:30. Aku harus siap-siap buat kelar. One day, with grins he planted not sprout. One day he stopped feeling the scent of life between his breath. Thus he rides against the currents, hunting after wave. He seeks the wave, reapproaches them, and eventually bring about their destruction. Faint memory having blinked through many a fathom, flashed briefly before my eyes, and the sea-born night with its great glance against the surface is terror. He shuddered as though he with repulsiveness, but he does not stop. He observes forecast and cover the land. That is impermissible. This is the land. The night and the sea terror don't necessarily seem to be on the same side. Perhaps diplomacy may be viable solution here. Overcome the following roar. Oi. We are not the sea, we are not its wave. The night grasslands falter with dark. Wave are the only things that hold any meaning for him.
아는 것을 모른
Oh,
채할 수
level
없어.
down.
調子
Okay.
が悪くなっているみたいです。
정화.
Fan art kawan, fan art Esu lebih banyak. Aku nggak. Maksudku fan art yang apa night ini anjir. Soalnya bentuknya apa namanya bentuknya sangat-sangat fan artable banget tuh.
불끄듯 지원할 뿐.
Pas pada kuda-kuda Egir. Oh itu Egir. Au. Au, aku kena frozen kayak itu. Jarang menurutku. Oh, oke. Oh god. Apakah aku akan jadi es? Cuman 7 doang anjir. Damage-nya kecil banget, bro.
攻撃でなくて
Kataku
も
jangan win
最
rate.
善の選択だったはずです。
Why? Merah. Dan levelnya kita nggak tahu. Yang merah sama apa namanya? Itu. Merah sama apa yang oh. Nanti tahu sendiri. Siapkan emot dingin lah sefutoram.
이 앞에 숨쉬는 자.
Oh ada sefutoram. Out.
보내지 마라.
Please stagger please paling enggak. Aku yakin kita apa namanya akan membeku. Nggak bisa nyerang. What the fuck is that, bro? Hah? EOE juga. Defense 17, attack-nya 78, men. Stagger tuh pisang. Iya anjir. No way, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm dead.
무슨
Wah, I'm very dead, bro. What the fuck?
地面者の確認。至急対
Oh iya, hati-hati sama skill musuh yang ada. Ya, no. I know. I very much
作
understand.
戦の一環。リンバスカンパニーの戦い方。
Fraksi neutral. Or neutral di depan semua. Fraksi itu. Ini skill selalu EO anjir. Gimana caranya anjir? Siapkan emot dinginnya, dingin sekali anjir. Babi. Ya. Bro, perasaan tadi nggak dominating dah. Yap, stagger. Gak ada bunyinya anjir. Yap. Udah beku stagger berapa orang? 3 orang, mantap.
リンバスカンパニーの戦い方。
Tulisannya dominating tapi dia bohong guys. Limbus company apa namanya? Tulisan dominatingnya bohong semua anjir. apa ya? Damage-nya nggak kemasuk loh. Cuma disuruh bertahan doang, Mer. Gampang kan? Gampang banget ya. Mampus. Perasaan tadi nggak ada tag-nya dah.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当
Belum
に
bisa
嬉しいで
anjir.
す。
Orang
날개를 펼치고
Gak punya fluid sack, fluid sacknya belum bisa dipakai. Fluid sacknya belum bisa dipakai. Dari tadi aku mau apa namanya pakai fluid sack, apa namanya kurang ego source-nya. Kamu kurang dikit lagi loh, dia stacker dir. Ayo, meninggal.
작품을 만들다
Kau
죽을
sudah
수
meninggal ya
있다니.
btw.
그야말로 이상적.
Oh, bang Faustnya masih hidup. Kurang dikit lagi, dia stacker bro, what the hell. Apa yang meninggal? Oh belum. Oh iya subtitle.
タンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね。
Semuanya ke false anjir. What the hell. Ke false. Bentar. Kan opus. Lah ya.
내 앞을 막을 자는 없.
Kok dapet duku ya? Nggak, saya mana tahu cuy. Oh BTW Otis belum aku trade up anjir.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Itu buku.
優れた式ですね。
뱀으로
Nah tuh musuhnya stacker ya anjir, akhirnya stacker anjir.
도려내라.
쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
効果的な攻撃でした。
Kenapa darahnya tiba-tiba 65 dah?
더는 하늘에 오르지 못한
Kenapa tiba-tiba darahnya tiba-tiba 65 anjir? Perasaan tadi masih banyak dah.
끝없이 아래로.
Butler Otis. The Cinderella's assault upon the knight began to slow. Cold loneliness writhes below, insidious under the faint light. Are we with or wrath in his eye? The sea wet our hands, giving us no time to answer the question. Now has to stand their ground next to the Butterflies dinner. Lihat, hihihi, freeze, ya kan freeze? Play the ocean. Inner muscle warm rain. Rain nights, the fire of determination and the rest of the sinner. In the moment, the iron strays her lamp, showering with the night with light. It's like a barrier flame illuminate our way. Unlike the night, we are not alone, so we do not have to endure the chilling loneliness by ourselves.
이런 식으로
Remove
해결하면
frozen
된다.
from all ally.
皆さんこの勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
Aku butuh ungu.
자, 어느 쪽일지
udah menang kan ya
잘
pada video?
생각해보라고.
Menghilangkah? Atau
タンテさん、なんだかただな
phase
らぬ気分
kedua?
を感じます。
Phase kedua anjir.
이딴 만인에게
Kuda-kuda ekir, wah udah meninggal sini. Wah, wah, wah. Emang phase kedua kita kalah kah? Emang dikalahin kah?
이 날이
Wah, kuda ekirnya muncul jir. Gak ada stagger, gak ada bar staggernya jir. Mantap. The knight rides upon the finely winding steed and stretches skyward. The knight races across the sea, splitting its wave. He wants to say it at this rate. Tell him please, even for a second. Erin directs her hand cannon toward the knight. Her aim and wheel undulates on the same frequency with the wave. We need but a moment to recover. Topples the wave, go for his leg, not his ledge. You have to stop the knight charge. How high is it? Oh, it's not that high. The knight fears charge briefly waver when Sinner Otis jump in his path. The Inquisitor quickly capitalized on this momentary opening. A blinding spark flies from her head and cannon, and the knight is thrown off his steed.
분부대로
Become
완료했습니다.
classable. Then Shadow pulls under the lone knight. The surus of steaming flesh sliding against the flesh can be heard from beneath. Are they gathered to defeat the knight? They must first gather there, believing him to be one of them, until they come to a realization that the knight is a traitor to a great will. The knight leaps off from the surface, but the sea rises violently in response to drag him down. The wave crests high, plowing upon the knight, pressing him back down to the water surface. But he leaps once again, the cresting wave as his stepping stone. He belonged not to the sea. He stood tall against the great wheel, his head held high in eternal defiance. The unremittent knight rides across the watery mountains and charged at us. Again? In the dawn quieted, bring the knight charged to a stop, then the wave began to crest in. Once, twice, thrice, but unlike the knight in the back street, the wave don't stop coming. He has always challenged the wave, and is fated to do so for eternity. The wave will always shake the sea until the day of the night sinking. Struggle passive cultivate, the life and night corpus.
관리자다리 잘한 것 같지 않소?
囚人が退却でき
너의
ませんでした
쓸모를 보여라.
ダンテさんには囚人を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね。
Oh, menang kalau nggak salah. 30 menit lagi merebut. War. 10 menit lagi. Hell no, brother. Fokus juga. Struggling. Nggak ada fruit anjir, belum ada.
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
Lama banget jir.
달려들어라. 혈연도 바로. 다 모아쳐라.
Ayo, kapan ini selesainya anjir? Ya, membeku menjadi es. Esnya dingin ber.
롱배. 모자란군. 이 패배를
Tengok nih freeze. Ya, I'm freeze. Dingin ber. Kena sinking juga minus. What? Wah. Jadi lollipop semua anjir.
그 물을 한 모금 마시기 전엔
囚人が退却できませんでした。あ、ダンテさん
Jadi
には
lollipop
囚人
semua.
を蘇生できる能力がありましたよね。
제압 실시.
Sampai kapan bertahannya anjir? Wah,
신화음기를
tinggal lagi.
생각하면
Tinggal
이
semua.
또한 젠장.
Tinggal semua. Let's go. Freeze, frozen
囚人
semua.
の皆
Let's
さんの状態を
go.
確認する必要がありそうです。仮に
Let's go. Darah tinggal 92. Meninggal semua.
할 일이
囚人が退却できませんでした。あ、ダンテさんには
Apa? Aku nggak
囚
bisa
人を
bertahan
蘇
jir.
生できる能力がありましたよね。
Oh, the fraud. Ayo, deker mulu. Malah meninggal deh. Oke,
이러면
defeat.
실적이
Mission failed. Are we done? Ini kita ngulang atau apa story-nya? Halo Enon. Kalah. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah waras ini welcome. Oke, karena sekarang udah mau jam 6 saatnya kita outsource karena Haname nanti malam jam 7 itu ada janjian collab tapi Haname nggak nge-stream ya. Nanti Haname itu apa namanya share di YouTube sama di Discord apa teman-teman Haname yang nge-stream siapa aja. Kan Dius itu ngerti tag cold BTW. Nanti aja aku apa namanya? Nanti aja aku mencari tahu gimana caranya. Bentar, add-nya di mana ya? Lupa nge-add-nya di mana ya? Friend-nya. Add friend-nya di Add friend di mana, coy? Kamu mau nge-add tapi add friend-nya di mana? Oh, ini. Pojok bawah kiri.
하루가 저물어가는 동안 나는
Oh iya ini. Aku lupa anjir sumpah. Silakan di-add yang mau nge-add. Haname Otsu dulu. Thank you for watching and see you on the next time. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.